It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge. Total Landscape Solutions.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors and Custom Drywall can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray or Mike, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors and Custom Drywall, 305-345-3649. Or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
Oh, yeah, it works better when I turn the microphone on. I am Sean Stanley. This is the Squared Circle Digest WrestleMania recap show, joined as always by the great Frankie Fresco. And tonight, we've got No Doubt joining us, and Finn Sammy, and then also Adrian will be joining us. So we'll have a full house to break down everything that was WrestleMania weekend. And guys, we'll start out without getting into too many details. Your overall thoughts, night one, night two, WrestleMania. Frankie, you're on the clock.
What's up, guys? So, look, I thought everything. Can you guys hear me? I hear my.
Yes. Yeah, we can hear you.
And there's no feedback or anything like that, right?
No, there's not. It's louder on my end than it normally is, so I'm not sure what's going on. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I hear it kind of weird sometimes. All right, well, first and foremost, hey man, I thought night two delivered everything minus the main event. I thought the main event was kind of lackluster compared to night one. That's how I feel, but night two was a strong night. It's just the main event I was expecting more. The result I was happy with, but I just thought there was gonna be more. That's kind of how I felt about all of WrestleMania, night one and night two.
All right, No Doubt. Go ahead.
I got mixed feelings on it. So, I thought that there were some flubs that were kind of obvious. I enjoyed seeing Stone Cold. Didn't like the match with Cena. I thought it was kind of boring. And then they kind of tried to throw something in there at the end. I thought Travis Scott was boring, and I thought the whole thing was boring. It looked like it was slow and like he couldn't really do it anymore, and they were just trying to fill time. But in general, I thought I liked the whole event.
All right, Sammy.
It was opposite nights, right? Last night the main event was great and the other card was so. I agree with No Doubt. This time the whole card tonight was very very good, but there was something missing from the main event. So minus the ending, the ending wasn't even great, but the whole match even still wasn't what I expected. So it was opposite. Like, what an incredible main event last night, but the undercard was okay, and today was the complete opposite. The whole card was good, but the main event was not.
Yeah, no, I was, we did the Squared Circle Digest, and I said to me, night 2 was the one that was going to slack a little bit. To me, on paper, looking at the 2 cards, I said night 1 should be, pretty good overall, and night 2 ended up to me being the better all around card. Night 1 was okay, but to me, night 2 was, and again, we'll dive more into the main event.
And so I'm sorry, John. I think the crowd was completely different. Yesterday, the crowd was like, uh, it
Yeah, but
wasn't a hot crowd. Tonight's crowd was really, really good compared to last night's crowd.
yeah, I mean, but again, when you look at today's card, man, and I'm trying to bide some time, waiting on Adrian to jump in here before I get too far down the rabbit hole for him to catch up. But for me, like I said, when we did on the Square Circle Digest, I had always said that night 2 looked like you had the Cena. They were almost, to me, it felt like they were banking the night on the beginning of the card with the triple threat of the ladies. You knew the McIntyre was going to be hard hitting, so it was going to get your things, and then you're counting on Cena and Rhodes to kind of take it home. And to me, the other matches lived up and exceeded, and then there to me was a fumble at the end. To me, that again, whether I'm not talking about, I know I didn't do well I did well on the picks with me and Frankie, but I kind of switched up after watching SmackDown on a couple of the picks on the thing. But overall, I just, it felt safe. It felt like a safe WrestleMania.
I mean, for me, man, like I said, bro, I was really, really excited of how the card was going. I think the highlight of the night, in my eyes, was my
Dominic
man
Mysterio.
Dom
Yes.
Mysterio finally winning. And I've
Yeah.
been telling you guys for such a long time
Yeah.
that he is a headliner. And look at him. Look at him doing his big thing over there. That was the biggest pop, besides Stone Cold running into the girl and to the hell out of WWE. And I was reading it online, and people were like, "Man, she faked it. Like she flopped
She
really,
took a
really."
dive. She
Like,
took a
like,
dive.
like a lot of people were like, look, that was like the most latest reaction ever. Because if you see, she kind of like stood there, then she goes down, and you're like, what is going on here?
She looked like the NBA playoffs. She's in full form there at the NBA playoffs.
Man,
You know what the funny thing about the whole Dom thing is? And I guess, you know what, we'll dive into let's go and talk about this one. Because to me, tonight, they turned Dom babyface.
but
Before,
the fans were
before,
yelling his name.
I
Yeah.
before I thought, okay, Dom and Liv take over Judgment Day and they kick out, Finn Balor and everything else. After what happened tonight with Liv and them losing as well, which is whatever it is, but with them losing and Finn losing, Dom getting the reception he got, I could see them full fledged turning him babyface and them kicking him out of the Judgment Day.
I mean, I think the thing with Dom is he's riding a high right now because of the simple fact that he is part of the Judgment Day. So now we're all intrigued to see how Finn is going to react to it, because technically Finn is the leader, right? So now what happens next? I think that's why people are still so involved with Dom and happy for him. But now we want to know what's going to happen. And obviously, most likely, they're probably going to face each other at one point in time. But I think that's why there's so many people right now on Dom's side. But people will turn on him eventually. Nobody likes Dom like we do.
I thought it was interesting that they. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. No, go. You
Yeah,
said
yeah. So I thought it was interesting. Two things that they chose Finn to take the pin because that promotes the division within the Judgment Day going forward, and then also it's nice to see that Paul Levesque continues to uh, give titles to people that perform consistently all the time. Like, you are rewarded for good work, so that's pretty nice to see because Dom's always out there and he looks good. He looks good all the time. Like, he makes other people look good. He's smooth. He doesn't really mess up that much. He looks great.
Sammy?
Well, I'm watching Dominic Mysterio at the post game with Eddie Guerrero T-shirt. So uh, that's awesome. When last we talked on the Sean Stanley show, I'm I'm sorry, Sean Stanley, Adrian Rayleigh show. We talked about how I was expecting for me to be the only one who picked Dominic Mysterio. Everybody picked Dominic Mysterio, so the crowd was up for Dominic. I was happy for me, but I was happy for Frankie because he talked so much about Dominic.
Yeah.
So it was a great moment. He had to go back to the ring because the crowd was so hot for him. He had to go back to him to take the sheer, went past Finn Balor. So it was a great moment, great moment for
Yeah.
him.
And again, once they made it a four-way, I was like, okay. To me, Braun Breaker was losing the belt. And it kept Pinta and him both strong, and it allowed for them to, ultimately take out, the Dom and the Fim and the keep teasing that whole thing with the Judgment Day there. But I did find it, a little bit crazy to me that, and then we'll dive into this one too. This match to me really had no significance anywhere on the crowd, and I'm sorry that I'm all over the place here. I'm trying to get the screen correct so I can bring on Adrian to join the show now. So,
What's up, man?
What's
What's
up,
up?
fellas?
Adrian, welcome to the show. And now I got to transition again so I can get on top of the Florida Panther flag there. All right.
You become an expert on that, Sean.
Yeah, I'm working it, man. I'm working it. I'm a little slow though. I'm a doot, but hey, I have public school education here, so I'm working. I got lines,
We all
circles, all that stuff.
If
Yeah,
you were a
100%.
true University of Florida fan from day one, you wouldn't run into these situations.
congrats, Frankie.
You know what it would look like if I was a Florida Gator fan? None of us would be on the screen. All you'd hear is voices. It'd be like Randy Orton. Like, hey. So anyway, to get back to the whole thing, and Adrian, welcome aboard, sir. We
Sir.
talked the Dirty Dom match, so why don't you go ahead and throw in we kind of went through the Dirty Dom match. So your thoughts on the Dirty Dom, so we can get caught up here.
Oh, nothing, man. Like we talked about on the preview show, man. I thought it was a hell of a match, and yeah, man, they did it right.
Yeah, yeah,
Finn took the pin, and Dom got the ship. So I thought they did everything perfect in that match.
I agree 100% on that one because they did exactly what I thought and I spoke. They didn't do it all the time on this show. Let me tell you that right now. I was a little upset, Triple H. I sent you all the notes and you flubbed it. You flubbed them all. Let's talk about the one that to me I thought, look, man, there's no way Lyra Valkyria becomes Lyra Two Belts. Then they go and they attack Becky in the locker room because Bailey, because she's not good enough to be on the damn show. And then all of a sudden it's, oh, Becky's taking her spot. And I tweeted out as soon as I was like, man, if Becky is her partner, we're getting Lyra Two Belts, man. It's like, you're not losing. Becky's not losing. So that match went for me from being a no-brainer of Liv and Raquel keeping the titles to, oh boy, here we go. Two things here. One, did you like the Becky return and the way it was put out there? And two, what do you see happening next for, I guess, basically everybody involved? Because I don't know what happens to Raquel and Liv and Becky and Lyra and Bailey got beat up and left out. So have at it. We'll start with you, Sammy.
I'm watching again the post game. And Becky Lynch is over there with her daughter. Her daughter is so big now. Again, I'm a huge fan of Bailey. So for me, it's bittersweet because I also like Becky Lynch, but for me it's bittersweet. It's crazy for me because it would have been more sense if they took out Lyra Valkyria and then Bailey needs to find a partner and Becky Lynch is the partner. If you ask me, that would have been the best story. But like you said, I don't know what's going to happen to Liv and Raquel because they already had the record for most title reigns as a female tag team champion. So uh, I expect them to get the belts probably back, but the way they made that after Rey Mysterio had an injury too, so you have two replacements and also Kevin Owens. three replacements on WrestleMania. That didn't make any sense. The match was okay. The comeback for Becky Lynch was great. I love Becky Lynch, but I would have loved to see it on the physical dances.
All right, Adrian.
And it was great if you're a Becky Lynch fan. I mean, they did it right for her, for real. I mean, I like Becky, man. I felt like Liv deserved to get a win for all she done did this year. Like she done pretty much carried the women's division along with a few others, but she been balling out, man. So I thought she definitely deserved a win at WrestleMania. But you're not gonna bring Becky back and have her take a L. So they did what they were supposed to do as far as the comeback and putting the titles on them. But I mean, it's got to be something going on. Something has to happen, man. I really don't know like the direction they're going. Maybe they drop the belts tomorrow night, and maybe Lyra and Becky start a feud. Who knows, man? But I thought they did it right as far as like her returning and everything. But I really don't know the direction they're going in with this one after that.
All right, no doubt. You're up.
I enjoyed the match. I would say Becky might have got the largest pop of the night. Maybe like it was pretty close, which I thought was really interesting. Even though a lot of people knew that she was coming. How about the Irish connection? So Lyra and Becky, we've got two Irish girls coming in to take over the women's tag team division. I thought that maybe that might have been the connection as far as like why they put Becky with Lyra, because I was kind of wondering what that was going to be. I was trying to think through like past people that she'd wrestled in NXT, and I didn't come up with Becky Lynch. That obviously I didn't get that to them, but I didn't see that coming until we saw it earlier. But I liked the match. I also kind of thought that taking the belts off Liv and Raquel, it's kind of setting up for this Judgment Day thing, right? So you've got the belts off of those two. They can split if they have to. Hell, they can feud if they want to. And then you've got Finn and you've got Dom, who Dom just pinned him, and Carlito's just sort of out there. So I don't know what happens with JD, but it really sort of sets this thing up to where there could be a really big change, if not a dissolution of the Judgment Day.
Frankie Fresco.
Man, you know me, guys. I'm a big Becky Lynch fan, so she's my favorite. So when I saw that she came, I was telling you guys on the chat board that we on the group chat that we have, I was like, oh man, if they're pushing this match to the very end, that means Becky's back. And when I heard that she was back and I saw that, I was like, yes, finally. I was happy to see her. Like, well, no doubt said the connection of the Irish, and also, yes, the connection that they had in NXT before. When Becky Lynch became champion in NXT, she had her couple of storylines with Lyra Valkyria in NXT. So that's how they have a connection between the two. Eventually in NXT, Lyra does go up against Becky Lynch. So I do have the feeling that they are going to go on a run. I also feel that at one point in time, we're going to eventually see Lyra versus Becky Lynch, but that's way, we still got a long way before we get there. Now, when it comes to Liv Morgan, I mean, Liv Morgan looked hot, bro. Jesus Christ. Even though she lost, she was smoking. I was like, whoa. Well, she wasn't even wearing the shorts today. So I was like, what? I was like, so I was happy for it. I mean, yeah, of course, we wanted her. She's done a hell of a job the whole year. But, I think at the end of the day, I do feel that the title run between Lyra and Becky is going to be short-lived. And I really do think Liv and Raquel are going to gain it back. I don't know if they'll gain it back that quickly this week or whatnot, but I do feel they're going to gain it back. And I also do feel maybe there's a way to put in a plot into this, because what is Bailey going to do now? You feel me? Maybe Bailey gets involved or something. I don't know yet. They have different options and different ways of going with this whole storyline. But at the end, I thought that match delivered. I thought it was a good fight, and I thought it didn't hurt Liv and Raquel losing, in my opinion.
No, I don't think it hurt them. Here's my question for everybody on this panel, real quick, because this is my only question. What is the difference between, and I'll just ask it pretty bluntly here, Charlotte Flair winning the Royal Rumble on her return, Becky Lynch winning a title on her return?
Didn't
Not
Becky
much.
just win a title the last time she returned also?
Yeah.
She lost
making that up?
against Liv. That was the last match she had because she was going away with her contract in the book.
Right, but
I
didn't
mean,
she
that's
win
the
it?
thing. It's
Did I
like
make that
everybody
up?
hates on Charlotte because she gets back and force fed into a Royal Rumble, everybody knows she's going to win. But we just said right here, once it got pushed back and we knew Becky Lynch was the tag team partner, there was no way that team's losing. And to me, I think the best thing to do is tomorrow night, Becky's like, I did you a solid, and I was your tag team partner for the championship titles. We won them. Now I want to be Becky 2 belts. I want that Intercontinental title right now. Bam. Go for it. Becky 2 belts tomorrow.
Yeah, but then that defeats the purpose of what you're saying, because then all of a sudden you got Becky again, probably most likely beating her again. And then
You got
what
Becky 2
happened?
belts.
And then what happens afterwards? They're still
At
tag
this
team
point,
belts.
have Becky beat everybody. Give her 7 belts. Have her go take out John Cena tomorrow.
Why are you hating on Becky, bro?
I'm saying, but what's the difference? Everybody's talking about everybody gets force fed
yeah.
when they return, but now this
feel
happens
you on
here.
that
Now
one.
everybody's like, "Hey, Becky's back! Becky's back! Yeah!" She
Maybe
tweeted out her response because her husband's a Heyman guy. Yeah, we love Becky.
maybe
Charlotte returns and it's like, oh Jesus Christ, Flair, here she comes back, and now again she's gonna win the Royal Rumble, and then she's gonna go on and win that WrestleMania, and then
I mean, maybe she picked maybe because Becky Lynch with Seth Rollins.
oh, okay.
People love her more.
All right,
That's why.
all right.
And Charlotte's with nobody now.
Yeah,
so.
Charlotte just marries people to divorce them. Or,
I didn't say it.
sorry,
I didn't
that's
say it.
allegedly with the thing that goes on. I'm sorry, my fault. My fault.
Okay, Tiffany.
There was no way that you knew it, man. Once she came out, there was no way she was
it
taking
is.
an
It's
L.
just it's funny to me though, because
Crazy.
it's like you always have those two will always, whenever they come in, get pushed to the top of the women's division, no matter what. Memo, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Memo and Sean put his stuff on Frankie Mania.
Is that what you were getting at, Sean?
That's what it is. You guys are mad because my girl Becky, my boy Dom, John Cena, everybody I wanted to win won.
Frankie Mania.
So what are we gonna call it? Yeah, Frankie Mania, Becky Mania, Dom Mania.
So happy.
Jeez.
You want Becky to start like from the bottom, start working her way up and build.
I don't mean that. I just think it's funny
Both
how
of
we
them.
look
I'm saying
at
both of them.
we look at one and say, oh well, we knew as soon as Charlotte came back she was winning the Rumble. You think if Becky didn't debut, if Becky came back during the Royal Rumble, you don't think she's going to be probably the odds-on favorite to win it too?
Yeah, but what Adrian is saying is a good point. What do you want them to do? Do you want her to start from the bottom and work her way back to the top, knowing that her name is that big? Granted, Charlotte Flair didn't win a belt, but she won Royal Rumble. She took a heel turn. People didn't like her. People like Becky Lynch. But at the end of the day, Charlotte Flair didn't win at WrestleMania. So I'm not gonna go here and say, hey, Becky Lynch is gonna be a champion for a long time either.
And they're gonna push whoever making money. So whoever makes the money, they pushing them.
Yeah,
automatically.
Look. Charlotte Flair got the heel turn in Royal Rumble. Fine. Becky Lynch won here at WrestleMania. Good stuff. Now what happened to Charlotte Flair? She lost at WrestleMania. Becky Lynch is eventually going to lose as well. That's just how it is. But like what Adrian said, hey man, those two girls, they bring money. So if they bring money, you got to put them on top. Whether they're champions or contenders, but they need to be on the top of the main card because people love them and hate them.
I don't like it either time, but you know they make money, man.
Oh no. But what I'm saying is, what's the difference though? Why was everybody's anti-Charlotte but pro Becky, and it's the same situation? That's my question.
More likable character.
And Sean is the second time they do that with Becky. They did that to SummerSlam with Bianca. Said they bring her back and boom,
you beat Bianca in 10 seconds.
Oh yeah, that was wild.
And then she left right after that again because the contract was coming up. That's when she lost to Liv in the steel cage match. And that's another part of the tie-in to what they did tonight, because Liv is the one that said she put Becky into retirement. So now she comes back and again, it starts tying in when you look at how it goes. It's just, I find it so funny that everybody starts like, oh, it's always Charlotte. But then they do the same thing with Becky, but it's never seen as the same. And I get it. They're both money makers. They're both, I understand all that. I just don't understand the fan view of what they do. I mean, everybody understands what they're doing. They're money makers. They're going to be pushed to the top, but for some reason,
Becky's just as cocky as Charlotte is too.
Yeah, but you gotta be to be at
Just as
that
cocky.
part of
Yeah, of
the
course.
roster. You have to be cocky as hell.
I know
Sean's
what
just a more likable character.
I know what Sean wanted. Sean didn't want Becky Lynch to be the partner. He wanted Ronda Rousey to be the
Oh
partner. That's
hell
what it
no,
was.
hell no, hell no, man! I saw a picture of somebody with her in the thing, and I was like, first time I ever hit an unlike button. Unlike, boom.
Wow.
Cannot stand Ronda Rousey. Cannot stand Ronda Rousey. All right, let's go on to what else happened on night. We'll go night 2 first, and then we'll jump into night 1. The triple threat at the beginning of the night: Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, and Bianca Belair. I thought those three pulled off an excellent match, and man, did that finish executed so well. I wanted to be like the jackass that I saw on X and be like, oh, that Dom finish looked a lot familiar to the first match. I mean, can we find different finishes?
Valid.
But it is. But again, when you execute them both the way they executed them, it worked. Because Io's finish is that. Dom's finish, the frog splash. It works out that way for both of them. And it's like, so for me, that match was executed well. And look, I said, I think with me and Frankie, I picked Io.
Yes, you did.
And then on your show, I think I went and picked Rhea.
Yeah.
Because I talked
You did
myself
it? It
in the
was
whole
Rhea?
Bianca Belair thing. And again, here's the thing, and this is where, look, if I'm one of those other WWE, AEW type fans, I'm like, this goddamn Triple H don't know how to book. I mean, what the hell? You have all these stories sitting here, and my God, it's just this plain old match. And Io Sky wins because she's the one that got pushed aside the whole time, and it's just safe. But again, I not against it, but in this WrestleMania, there were so many different ways they could have went. I feel like this was the safe move going forward. Frankie Fresco, what say you? And appreciate everybody in the chat. Keep going in the chat. Keep going. We're going to get to, there was a comment about Cena. I'm going to get to that once we get to the Cena match. So I'm looking at the comments, and I've already started them. So just keep them coming, and we'll get to the comments here in a little bit.
Well, like you said, man, I think that they picked the right match to start off night 2. Those 3 women delivered. I had Bianca Belair just because I thought she was going to be more of a heelish turn now eventually. And you still heard a lot of people booing her as well. But, I mean, all 3 women delivered. You had, and every moment it was on point. You feel me? There wasn't any, like, kind of any mishaps or anything like that. Like, you kind of saw a little bit of ring rust from Becky Lynch, but you saw a little bit of hiccups here and there. But with those 3 girls, those 3 girls were like going at it. Every move made sense. High flying moments there. You know, everything was going perfectly, went smooth. And at the end of the day, the crowd, you know, they favored Io Sky from the beginning when they were introducing all of them. I know Rhea Ripley got a little pop too, but a lot of people wanted Io to win. And I think they got the right decision. They made the right call. She deserved to win, and now let's see how long this Io run is gonna last. Triple H loves Io Sky, and you know, there you go. You have her defending and beating 2 of the top female wrestlers out there.
Now, I don't know how true this Shinsuke Nakamura tweet was, but Io was the first Japanese wrestler to win at WrestleMania in 27 years.
The Orient Express lost. Yokozuna, well, he wasn't Oriental, but didn't Yokozuna was supposed to be Oriental, but it wasn't.
Yeah, but I went back. I was like, I don't know if this is Shinsuke playing like a part of like this is new character or not. I haven't been able to go back to verify anything, but I thought it was funny because he posts Io's picture and is like, "Congratulations, first Japanese wrestler to win at WrestleMania in 27 years." Bro, I was like,
wow. In 27 years?
Yeah.
Probably.
Man, that's wild.
Yeah. No
Yeah,
doubt.
sound about right.
Really, you thought that Io was a safe pick? Like, I didn't think she was a safe pick.
You keep
you keep the title on her, but I thought the safe pick would have been Rhea, right? Like, she's supposed to be the dominant one.
No, because I feel like for me, I feel like there's a lot more you can do with Rhea because the way it's going, Bianca, you saw at the end of the match, she's pulling at her hair. Like when they're on her, like you can see that it's starting to mess with her head, and that's going to be the part of the heel turn. and Rhea's going to be the same way. They're gonna go into the funk to me because anybody can work with Io. It's harder to work with Rhea and Bianca because Io is so easy to work with. So
Yeah.
that to me, that's why it's easy pick because now it's easy booking. You can put Io with anybody.
So going back to like the giving Dom the belt and giving reward to people that perform consistently, I think we got some of that with Io as well. Like she's there all the time. She's been holding together that faction, which everyone was injured at one point. I think it was just her at one point for like a week or two. And she's been out there every week. I thought it was interesting that the entire feud played out like the fight did. The two, Rhea and Bianca, got focused on each other, and that ended up being both of their downfall as they beat each other up. And then, one took out the other, and then Io took over at the end, just sort of like the entire feud. It all played out just the way the match did. So I thought that was interesting the way that story was told.
Yeah, and a couple of comments. Memo said I wanted Bianca to win. Cassius Stone says I wanted Rhea to win, but I'm not mad. Io won, and I think her pinning Bianca instead of Rhea continues Rhea's story of I haven't technically lost the title. Adrian, your thoughts on the match?
3 pros, they killed it. Timing, execution was on point. And y'all know I'm biased, man. I love Io, so I want her to win all the way. So, yeah, man, it was a great match. Great way to start it off. Probably, up there with one of the top matches, definitely in the whole weekend.
Yeah, and Adrian, I'm not laughing at what you're saying. I just read a comment from Eddie in the thing, so we're gonna go to the Cody match next because that is a great comment that he put in there. Sammy, your thoughts?
Well, I think what Noel said and what Adrian said are right on point. But when you see the fandom, there are a lot of people who doesn't like Bianca for some reason. There are a lot of people who doesn't like Rhea for some reason. But I think it seems like everybody like Io Sky. So uh, I think it was Ranky was the one who said it probably was the safe pick because you can probably go with Io to another feud, then you can leave Bianca probably and Rhea feuding together. It was a great match. The girls had great chemistry, and the ladies had great chemistry, and it was a lot of fun match. It was a great choice to be the first match at the night too because they really pulled it off.
Yeah, EA minutes. I'm sorry, but I keep forgetting you're Richie TWE now. Next time I will invite you to the party. I apologize. And
By the way, Eddie, I'm okay.
yeah, okay, all right. So we'll hold off then on the Cena match then. Let's go to the other one. Logan Paul, AJ Styles. Here's the one question I have, and again, I don't watch Impulsive unless he's interviewing like one of the wrestlers, so I don't follow the show a lot. Who the hell is this guy? The guy with the brass knucks. Is that like somebody from his show,
Jeff
or is that
dude?
just a buddy, or what is that? Who
He
is
always
that?
does. He always does that.
I know
Every
he's
single
always
year.
there, but I'm trying to figure out because when I watch
I
Impulsive,
think so.
that's not the co-host guy, right? That's not the guy that's with them in the co-host of the show, right?
No.
Just a part of his crew.
Oh, okay. All right. So then you get Karrion Kross involved, and ultimately it kind of went the way I thought it was going to go, with AJ Styles kind of they had a great. I thought it was a good match. Logan Paul, I can't stand him, but he's very freaking talented, and again, I just thought it was another good match for him to look good and to do his moves, and that freaking pulverizer is growing on me each time I look at it because it's like every time he tries to put a different wrinkle on it. Like this one, he almost looked like he tried to like drill AJ into the ground when he did it. It's kind of like he's trying different things every time he does it, or maybe it's just who he's giving it to. Maybe depends on how good that person can take the move. But overall, look, man, I can't. I had a feeling this was AJ doing what he does best, and that is making guys look great, and that's what he did for Logan Paul in this match. And ultimately, I think it's going to be Karrion and AJ going at it for a little bit here until AJ either doesn't sign or re-signs and figures out what they're going to do with the remainder of his contract. No doubt, AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. Your thoughts?
So as far as the pulverizer, that's the first time I've seen it where I've been like impressed by it. Like, whoa, that really caught my attention. I remember seeing it before, but it never caught my attention like that. That was interesting. The Karrion Cross angle, I kind of took that differently. Karrion's been trying to convince AJ to sort of do things along with him, and I always thought those two were going to pair up. And you notice that he didn't do what Karrion asked him to do, and it ended up like biting him in the ass. So I would expect that Karrion's going to take that and get in his head and say, "Hey, listen, like I told you to do that, you didn't, you lost. Like you should listen to me. We could do this." And there may be like a little duo there because Karrion needs somebody to run with. I don't know what's going to go on with AJ's contract and if they can make that work, but I've always thought those two were going to pair off together and do something. Um, as far as the match, I mean, I don't know. You're supposed to hate Logan Paul. Okay, we hate Logan Paul. He is very good at being hateable. He's the best at it. So I thought he did exactly what he was supposed to. He was impressive physically. He made me hate him, and the finishing move was impressive.
Frankie.
Hey man, Logan Paul always delivers when it comes to his highlights and his moves. I'm not a big fan of him when he does the buckshot lariat because of Hangman Page. I'm a Hangman fan, so kind of don't like that he copies Hangman on there. But at the end of the day, it was pretty cool. He came, he did what he had to do. AJ had a moment, and then obviously it kind of looked like what No Doubt is saying. Karrion Cross wants to make AJ Styles back to like a heel, right? But unfortunately, AJ's said no, and it cost him in the long run. I like the entrance for Logan Paul. I think he was like was he like live streaming or something himself while he was walking in?
No, he
So
was
thought he
not
had the
live
drone.
streaming. Unless he was on TikTok. I went to his Instagram and other things. He was not live streaming, but he did have the drone. He had a drone.
That was pretty cool.
that
That was probably the best highlight. I'm not gonna lie. I will say, besides the main event, obviously, I thought this was kind of like the one that fell right below it afterwards. So, like, if the main event would have delivered, I would have probably agreed with like Memo, because Memo says I passed out on that fight. It had a little sections there, here, and there where it wasn't like the most entertaining, but I thought it was still a pretty decent fight. So I was fine with it. I picked AJ Styles, but I'm fine with Logan Paul beating him.
I took the potty break.
Sammy.
I did. I took one during that fight for sure.
Oh man. Logan Paul is so good at, to be honest, at everything. Dude, if you want to hate him, he gives you a reason to hate him. From his hands, first entrance, so everything he does is over the top. Uh, and again, that match probably was so rehearsed. They had some timing issues, but probably someone was nervous. It's WrestleMania, so the pressure is there. But overall, the match was really, really good. So I expected the guy from Dorado, Puerto Rico, as he presents himself, to win the match, and he did. But it was a very entertaining match.
You're up, Adrian.
Yeah, I didn't love it, didn't hate it. Bathroom break, and got some food.
Damn,
Yeah,
man.
man. But I mean, they had a couple spots that was good, but other than that, man, it was like a nothing match to me.
That was your bathroom break, son.
I expected more, like way more, but didn't get it. So
I don't know what you're gonna get from almost a 50-year-old AJ Styles, but okay.
I don't know. Yeah, he's on his way out, man. I
mean,
knew Logan was going over.
Yeah, that's funny. What was your potty break match, Frankie? Since everybody else is giving us theirs.
The main event.
Really? Wow. Okay, Sammy, when was yours?
None.
None. Good ladder control, huh?
Oh man, 4 hours.
He held it.
You held it
tell you
4
right
hours.
now,
You ain't
mine
drinking
was-
water.
I have a very slow bladder, but I knew I had one before we went on the air because I didn't have one.
Well, Lyra came to the ring. Becky was introduced as a partner, and I watched no more of that match. Till the end.
You already knew. Yeah.
I probably will get.
That was my prepared match. Even when Bailey was in it, that was my prepared match. So whenever that came on, that was when I was heading to the bathroom.
Which one was it, Sean?
The women's tag team.
Okay.
I just thought that was a thrown in there match, anyways. But apparently, it had already been planned for the quote unquote thing planned behind the whole thing was 2 weeks ago was that Becky would be the mystery partner, but they threw Bailey in to throw everybody off, and then to have the incident happen, and then Becky to return. And apparently, Becky's going full baby face. Everybody in the post show press conference, She has her kid with her. Her and
Yeah.
Lyra are buddies. They were not as drunk as Jay and Cody were, but they're having some fun, some smiles there. Damian and Drew. Sammy, we'll start with you. Damian and Drew.
So now you have a guy from Puerto Rico saying he's from New York, so everything happens. You had the guy from Cleveland saying he's from Dorado, everything's messed up. Uh, I
It's
spent
pro
the
wrestling, man. I was from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. All right.
oh wow. I that's good. I expected Drew McIntyre to win, and the funny thing for me, the one thing I will remember for that match is is Drew McIntyre getting tongue. His costume got stuck on the ropes, and they cut to to another camera. That's the one thing I will remember for that match. So I expect a lot more from that match. They they seemed like they were protecting themselves a lot. You can see some of the punches on Drew McIntyre slamming him, not as violent. They took very well care of each other, but so I definitely expected more for that match. But again, it is what it is.
Frankie Fresco.
Hey man, I thought that match delivered. I thought it was fun. I thought the fact that Drew McIntyre had his brother give him the phone and then he took a picture of himself and then reposted it on Twitter. I reposted it immediately. I saw it. So it was like it was fun. I kind of knew that Drew was eventually gonna win. Especially after we kind of figured out that Sean kind of spoiled it for me, saying every single time whoever comes out first is the winner. So I was like, oh, okay. Well, there you go. Drew's gonna win. All right.
It didn't work as
He
much
did
on
it.
night two,
He,
though.
yeah, he did it last night.
Yeah, there was two. One match on night one was Naomi was the only one who came out first that lost on night one, and on night two it was
Dom and Becky.
the Dom and the Becky one. Yeah,
Yeah, those were the two. I mean, look, man. At the end of the day, Drew McIntyre, he needed a win. He won. I think he got over really well. I thought the match was fine. It was a street fight.
Yep.
They went ahead and they went out of the ring for a few little things here and there. Couple of chair shots to the back. A couple of steel stairs on your back as well. I thought it was cool, man. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I thought they both delivered. I thought it was a good fight, and I was happy that Drew won at the end of the day.
Adrian.
Same. I'm happy Drew won because I do not like Damian Priest at all.
No,
But I don't, man. He sucks. He sucks. He does. But yeah, I mean, as far as the street fight though, I mean, didn't really even leave ringside, man. So a good match, but not a good street fight. They kept us entertained, and Drew came out with the win, so I was all for it.
Adrian, you didn't like when he did the walk on the rope and then Drew pushed him and he fell on the tables?
Oh, anytime he gets hurt, I love it. I do. That dude sucks, man. I'm sorry. I just don't believe his character at all.
Damn.
no doubt. Tell us more about this great Damian Priest.
He needs to get rid of that crop top thing. He keeps taking it off. Just stop wearing it. Just stop wearing it. Dude, you're big. You're jacked. You have pants. You have more real clothes on than half the people that go out there. You don't need this crop top thing that you take off halfway. It's kind of weird, to be honest with you. I don't dislike Damian Priest. I just wish he would stop wearing the crop top. I enjoyed the fight, but I'll be honest with you, I'm going to forget about it in like a week.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I forget things pretty easily, so that doesn't mean much. But it's going to be gone in a week. It's totally gone.
Yeah, it was one of those things. To me, honestly, I thought Damian needed the win more, which is why I thought it was a street fight, because then Damian could get the win and it not hurt Drew because of whatever they wanted to do, because Drew always has been the one to get the losses, and I agree that he's lost a lot more than he's won lately. I understand that, but it could have went with everything there. I don't know, since they broke up the what were they called, the Terror Twins or whatever the hell they were, Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest, like both of them have gone like backwards to me since that whole thing has been separated. So, overall, I thought it was a good match. It was a WWE style hardcore match. You're not going to get the thumbtacks. You're not getting glass. You're not getting all that crazy stuff. And I don't understand why they went with a street fight instead of like maybe a I don't
No
know.
holds barred or
Disqualification.
something like
No
that.
holds barred, because
Disqualification.
again, when you go street fight, it's like, okay, you're in Allegiant Stadium. You know how far you have to go to get to the damn street? Like, it's not like
Did
you're
you
just gonna go, so it's one of those things. But I couldn't have been mad with whoever won this. I know I picked Damien to win it because I felt it would help him more, but it is what it is. Let me see real quick. Josh said he liked the match with Drew and Damien. Then they're talking more stuff there. Apparently, my dad's about to fall asleep because he just texted a Q. So I'm not sure what the question was going to be. Maybe he's got a question. Maybe he's raising his hand. I don't know. But anyway, so we go to apparently, here's the one thing I will say that I did not like about this match that we're going to talk about next. Nobody said his name, but he appeared.
Yes.
I felt like Randy should have been like, I'll challenge anybody. I don't care if it's whoever's in the back. I don't know. If it's
Yeah.
TNA champ Joe Hendry. And then boom, boom, right when you say his name, he appears. I felt like that would have been better than just like,
That's a
I
miss.
like it for him. Don't get me wrong. And then I know people are still like, I just saw a tweet. Somebody sent out, and AJ Francis retweeted it. They're like, imagine that. You go to Vegas, you get in a match, and you job to Randy Orton. Bro, if they would have called me, I would have not even had to. I wouldn't have had an entrance or anything. I would have just been standing in the corner and taking an RKO as soon as I came out. And again,
Yeah.
I agree with what Josh said, and I know I said it in our group chat thing. It was like, I think that's a better choice than Rusev. I don't know to me it was, a thing. And then somebody else came out and said it was kind of a make good for WWE's part, because I guess when they went to Hendry's homeland, he was supposed to be on that tour. And for some reason, things didn't work out. They said they're going to give him a make good. And damn it, if they didn't give him a good ass make good. WrestleMania against Randy Orton, I don't care that. And he got moves in. It ain't like Randy just jobbed him. I get it. It wasn't a long match, but he still got moves in. He did all his stuff. And he got the acknowledgement from Orton. Even after the second RKO, Orton at the end hit him on the chest. Was like, hey, good job. He got that little rub there. Frankie Fresco, your thoughts. Joe Hendry appears at WrestleMania and loses to Randy Orton.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would have worked a lot better if you would have, if like what you mentioned, if like Randy Orton would have said, I don't care who comes out, even if it's Joe Henry or something, and then his name pop, and then he comes out, it would have been better, especially since he had the mic. It was a good moment for Joe Henry. And you know what? For the WrestleMania card, I saw on X people were saying, is this like a low, mid, or a WrestleMania type of match? And on the thing, I commented and said, "Hey man, you forgot to put fun," because I think that's what it was. It was a fun match. It was just kind of like ease the tension. This wasn't something serious. There was no way Randy was gonna lose to Joe Henry. There was no way Joe Henry was gonna go over or anything like that. He just got his moment, and he went on X as well and retweeted that I just went to WrestleMania and fought Randy Orton, and he got the job done. For a lot of us, once we saw it was Joe Henry, we all kind of just laughed and said, "Hey, this is pretty cool." I think WWE WrestleMania should do that more often, where they kind of have like a mystery person, kind of leaves a lot of us intrigued, and it kind of brings in, like everybody was saying, is it Rusev? No doubt. I'm not no doubt. Memo was telling me, "Hey, let's be." Yeah, no doubt. Memo was telling me, "Hey, it should be Brock Lesnar." I was like, it would have been great if it would have been Brock.
Oh, he even says in the chat here, Lesnar should have come back. Good.
Yeah,
God,
but overall,
but Frankie, real quick, and Memo said, whoever's coming back is losing to Orton. So, like, what do you think? Lesnar's going to come out and be like, okay, Orton, RKO me. Lesnar comes to the ring, trips coming through the ropes, takes the RKO, and gets pinned.
Actually, that probably would have worked, because how many people don't like Brock Lesnar right now?
No,
The
yeah,
whole Vince situation. So
it'd be the whole Goldberg incident again, when Goldberg like speared him, and like everybody's like, that was the match. What happened? Did somebody hurt?
But you know what? Like I said, I think that match was a fun match, and I think it kind of eased like any tension. So I think maybe something they should think about doing more often, where they bring in like a fight that, like a mystery fighter, and then they bring, especially now that WWE is like, I don't know if you guys want to talk about it later on in the show, but they're like taking over.
No,
Bro.
yeah.
They're,
We'll
like,
we'll dive in because I think that might be why Joe Hendry was there to begin with, anyways.
Yeah.
But we'll dive into that whole thing. Finn Sammy, you are next, my man.
Well, Frankie, if you like WWE putting people on surprise opponents, this WrestleMania was for you because they did that with Ray Phoenix. They did that with Joe Henry and did
That's
that
right.
with Becky Lynch. They did it 3 times. So they did that. See, that's what Frankie Mania.
Frankie
They
Mania.
did that.
No, that's
They
what we're
did
gonna
that for
call this. We're talking
They did
Frankie
that for
Mania
Frankie.
Night 2 right now.
Frankie Mania, right too. Yeah, if you ask me, Joe Henry was hotter probably to the end of last year than right now. He's again nobody's talking too much about he's the TNA champion. Randy Orton beat the TNA champion at WrestleMania, but sadly, like Sean stole something I was gonna say that Joe Henry is the answer to a question nobody asked tonight because nobody mentioned anything about Joe Henry. Not not before WrestleMania. They didn't tease anything. They could have done so much with it. They had enough time to do it and they didn't. So again, Joe Henry had his moment. It was a good match. Randy was gracious. They found a way to make it fun, like when Steve Austin did the stunner after he beat you. They did it with the RKO, so it was fun. But again, they could have made it so much memorable. It was okay.
Adrian?
Good point, Sammy. They could have made it better, man, but I agree with Frankie. Like that was fun match. I was cracking up the whole time. It was a good time, man. It did what it needed to do, give Randy his
Yeah, sure.
win, and provide some life to the audience because it was getting kind of dead in there for a minute. But yeah, it did what it needed to do, and good on Joe Hendry, man, for getting a WrestleMania match against Randy Orton. That's bucket list stuff right there.
I'd do it in a heartbeat, no doubt.
I thought they did Joe Hendry kind of dirty. They could have let him look a little better. Just a little bit
Wow,
better.
this
Yeah, a
guy.
little
Just a
bit.
What do
little
you
bit.
want him to do? He
I
did
wanted
all
Like
this stuff. He did his
a
fallaway
joke almost.
slam.
if
And
he's the
he did
TNA
his
champion and that's all he's got,
he
then,
did
then
his
that's a
turnaround
problem
thing
too.
right into. I mean,
That's a
he
good
did a
point.
turnaround thing right into the RKO out of
I
nowhere.
listen. Okay, that spot was hilarious and beautiful.
Yes.
That
Oh
was
my God.
awesome. That's
Art.
Exactly.
yes,
He
it was
pulled the move
incredible.
out of nowhere. You
Okay,
don't expect
yes,
the RKO to come out of that.
it was wonderful. But I thought it could have made him look a little better, just a little bit. Give him like
True.
2 more minutes,
True.
something. He's the TNA champion. Come on, man. Although I don't have much else to add, but I did think it was an opportunity that was wasted to could like help some of the younger dudes. Like you've
Yes.
got that could have been Trick Williams.
Yeah, but he
For
just
Trick.
lost the other night. I mean, you can't take
I
like
mean,
600 L's in WrestleMania weekend.
it
You
could
can
have
only
been
beat Trick
it could
down
have
so
been
many
Carmelo.
times.
It could have been
Who?
Carmelo Hayes.
Yeah.
You
Him.
just won the Andre the Giant Memorial Night. He's gonna come out and job the Randy Orton. I mean, come
Yes.
on.
Yes, he's going to come out and job the Randy Orton. Yes, that's what he's
Calm
going to
down,
do.
Triple H. Let Melo have a minute. Let him have some wins. Now they're trying to job him out now.
Well, not
They could have
like
done
Joe
that.
Henry got jobbed out, but it could have looked a little better. Melo's got
Yeah.
moves. He can fly. Like, he could put on a show. But I liked the match. I actually didn't dislike it, so I don't want
I
to
don't know.
complain
It
about
sounds
it.
like you didn't.
It
Did you
was
have
fun.
to break this one too?
I was a little bit shocked at how Joe Henry looked so small compared to Randy.
Yeah,
Orton.
size difference.
The size difference was big.
Yeah.
I was like, holy crap! I thought Joe Henry was a lot bigger, but damn.
Randy Orton is
No,
big.
the Randy,
bro.
Randy's big.
Randy Orton's like he's like 6'5", 6'6", I think, or
Yeah.
something like
290.
legit.
Yeah. Yes.
And then he's cut compared like Hendry looks like.
No,
Yeah.
and it makes sense what No Doubt is saying. Is like if you look at them and look how he like manhandled Joe Henry in a way, damn, and that's your TNA champion. I get where No Doubt is going with that.
Yeah, but he beat Dolph Ziggler, who got ran out by Randy Orton. All them.
I bet, yeah, man, but damn, dude, this
I
is
mean,
like maybe they need a better champion at TNA. I don't know, but whatever, it's all good.
oh my God, I can't believe Josh. Somebody's agreed with No Doubt on some of this stuff. My God. Yeah. Karun says Orton's like 290. He's a moose, but Moose is in TNA.
Yeah.
You know, he already came and he lost to Obafemi.
Oh,
So-
maybe they could have brought an Obafemi to go against Randy Orton. There you go.
Yeah, that's what you want to do. let's job our NXT heavyweight champion.
Yeah.
We can job somebody else's champion.
That's exactly what they did. Exactly what they did.
You're
You don't
lucky
give
they
him
didn't
a
throw
job, you give him a rub.
you're
Next,
lucky they didn't throw a Vikingo in there. That's what
yeah, that's what I
happened.
was gonna say. Next year they're gonna do the AAA champion dirty. That's what they're gonna do.
Every year Randy Orton's gonna verse somebody else's champion.
Don't call him the legend
Going
killer.
forward.
Call him the wrestling killer out there.
He's the
Like,
champion killer. If you're not WWE champion. By the way, the babyface movement is on the way for Dominic Mysterio, who's on the post show. They have him out in with all the fans, and they wouldn't let him talk. He had to stand up, show the title, and the people went crazy.
wow, so proud of him, man.
Oh, it's funny. A memo brings up, is Jeff Hardy still in AEW? That would have been dope. Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy have been in TNA for about a year now.
Yeah, you're a little bit late there, brother.
And the funny part about it was there was 2 names brought up to take on Randy Orton tonight. Joe Hendry and Jeff Hardy. Joe
Either
Hendry.
one was losing.
Apparently somebody called Joe Hendry's name, or he heard his name and he just showed up. One of the two.
Yep.
So
Somebody in the crowd.
let's go to the main event of the night. John Cena versus Cody Rhodes. I'm going to go last on this one. Does anybody want to volunteer to go first?
I'll go first because that
All
was
right,
trash.
go ahead, Adrian.
That was so trash, bruh. How are we gonna do that? The 17th time, and he's winning like this. All this drama, this build up for that, man. For Travis Scott to walk down there like he ain't have nothing else to do, just hanging out like he was in the grocery store, just walking down. Yeah, no, took 5 minutes to get to the ring. Then just everything just seemed off, bro. At that point, I mean, the whole match, like. I get the whole heel Cena, slow kick. Let me kick this dude's ass slowly. He asked the ref for time once. I don't know if y'all seen that. So I'm like, okay, somebody's coming out. Thinking it's The Rock. No, it's gonna be Travis Scott and nobody else. And then that's it. That's all we got. They should have just put the triple threat match as the main event for night 2 and called it a day. Because if they were going to do that, because I don't know how fans ain't disappointed. That was so stupid, man. But congratulations, John Cena. I picked you to win, and you got your 17th championship. So there's that.
Anybody want to follow that?
I'll go. I fell asleep, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I thought that match was boring as hell.
It was trash.
It from the beginning. I mean, the entrance of John Cena. Okay, it makes sense. He's kind of like, I don't want to go ahead and give you guys anything whatsoever. So he walks in. But then I thought he was gonna change his wrestling. I thought he was gonna I thought we were gonna get like a pissed off Cena that was gonna make it entertaining. It kind of felt like a lackluster Cena, like he didn't want to be there. Like, don't touch me, like a whiner. He's been whining the whole time, and then he carried that whining into the match. And then you see him kind of like being like little princes out there saying, "Yo, yeah, I'll hit you here. Oh, let me grab onto the rope, break, get off of me." I heard him say, he was like, I could lip sync, I could lip hear him lip read him saying that. And then I'm like, yo, what is this, bro? This is what we're signed up for? This is the main event. And then you got Travis Scott coming out of the blue. And then the low blow and then call it a night and there you go. It's over. Dude, man, you gave us such a really good night too. And then you end with this. What Adrian said, man, honestly, they should have just put the triple threat match into night 2 instead, because at the end of the day, like, I don't know what they decided, what they thought of this. I don't know if it was that they were being lazy with the writing, or if they just knew that it wasn't going to live up to what happened the night before, or to what has been happening last year with the whole Rock and Undertaker and all that stuff. But it was just such a lackluster. And even Cody afterwards, like, Cody's like, "Oh, I'm so down and depressed and all that stuff," and you're like, bro, just leave, bro. Like, it was just that bad. You shouldn't even be down on yourself. Just be down at the fact that you did that fight, because that was terrible. Congrats to Cena, but if Cena won, if that's how he was gonna win that belt his 17th time, man, I thought it felt really, really short.
All right, Sammy, no doubt. Which one wants to go first?
I'll go.
All right, go ahead.
All right. So, Yeah, I didn't like it. Obviously, it was boring. Has anybody thought about the fact that maybe this is like what they signed up for the remainder of the year? I just don't know that Cena can be any better. Like, how are they going to sell this for the next 8 months? Is nobody's going to make him look better. Cody made him look as good as he could. Cody's awesome right now. He's smooth, like he's in character. He's doing everything he's supposed to do. He takes the hits well. Cena's just boring, and unless it's going to change, I don't know that it's going to get any better. Like, there may be some drama as far as the storyline, and apparently he's very good at that. But eventually, he's going to have to wrestle, and also, like, you just put him in a championship position in April. We got 8 more months. He's boring. And how many events did he sign up to show up to? It was like a limited number. He's not going to be out there all the time like Cody was. So you're not going to see the championship as much as you were. I think he signed on for like 20 appearances.
I think he's at every pay-per-view though. Now
Okay.
how he builds up to the pay-per-views, I don't know, but I believe he's at every pay-per-view. Or sorry,
So
PLE. Premium Live.
Memo was talking about the heel turn. I do want to mention something. Did you see him kind of like playing with the crowd, like hinting like, hey, I'm still not actually a heel. Like, I still kind of like it. I like you guys a little bit. He gave him a little bit. I don't think the heel thing is going to last forever. I think he's going to go back to the crowd eventually. And I think we got a little bit of that today.
All right, Sammy.
First, I wanna say thank you to my partner in Prince TV, Eddie Chapels, for being so worried about my well-being about Cody losing to us. Thank you, Eddie. That was nice of you. Sarcastic. Well, but being honest, I think it's so confusing to me, because if we were to go point by point, everything we expected on this match, after all the hype of the Royal Rumble, after everything with The Rock, about everything with John Cena, John Cena deserved better, Cody deserved better, we deserve better. This was the biggest disappointment. Aside from Cody Rhodes, of course, I'm a Cody supporter, but aside from Cody Rhodes, this the biggest disappointment in recent WrestleMania history, if you ask me, because John Cena deserved so much better to win the 17th championship in a very different form, in a glorious fashion, with a great match, with much different type of circumstances. They did that horribly. Cody deserved better because, of course, he had an underwhelming title reign that should have been better and should have been prolonged. And if you ask me, they did that wrong. People expected The Rock. He didn't show up. Travis Scott didn't get the beating that he deserved. and at the end of the day, the match was very, very, very underwhelming. So if you ask me, Cody basically carried that match from end to end. The spot where the referee is knocked out, and 1, 2, as soon as Cody went for the first pin, I said, "Oh, John Cena's winning this match. There's no way they're gonna have another way to finish the match." And when you compare it with last night's main event, it was a huge disappointment. Everybody deserved better. We the fans deserve better. So if you ask me, they're gonna hype it as John Cena wins the 17th championship and everything's glorious and it was great WrestleMania. But as far as I'm concerned, this is the most disappointing WrestleMania main event in a long time.
Sean, before you go,
Gentlemen on
I
the
just
bottom.
want to say,
Go ahead.
I just want to say,
Your hand raised. Go ahead.
if they knew the match was going to be this boring and not a lot of action, it was just going to be, dragging, then why not add the star power? Why not have The Rock out there? No WWE fan give a fuck about Travis Scott. None of them. So when he came out there, it's like, all right, they
But
thinking The
I
Rock's
care
coming
for him
right
getting beat
behind
up,
him.
and it didn't happen. That's the only thing
Yeah,
I care about Travis Scott. He getting beat up, and that didn't happen.
Crossroads, and then that was it. Yeah,
And get
man.
out there
But that was it.
faster.
That was it.
Get
Like,
out
at
there
least
faster.
thank you.
Oh, dude,
Run
that
down
took
or something.
forever.
Ah,
Oh, they should have added more star power. Like, it was terrible, man. But go ahead, Sean.
You
Sorry.
weren't excited that Travis Scott came down and was
Oh,
Oh
disappointed.
yeah.
I was on the edge of
Oh
my
yeah,
seat. I was like,
Frankie.
"Oh, here comes the slap. He's gonna hit Cody again." And here's my thing with this whole situation. It's like I feel they mailed in WrestleMania so they could have a bigger SummerSlam. Because this is what they did. John Cena told Cody in the buildup, and Michael Cole and them were trying to hammer it home at the end of the match. when he got the belt. And Cody grabs the belt, and they're like, is he going to do it? Remember, Cena told him, you at one point, you're going to have to make that decision. Are you going to be good or are you going to be bad? What are you going to do? And they kept hammering it home and hammering it home and hammering it home. Of course, we know Cody did the right thing, took a nut shot, took the belt, got pinned. Now they go to interview Cody at the post thing, and he walks by and is like, not right now. And he's got his head down. He's dejected. Brandy's beside him, and she's dejected. And you're going to get this whole damn buildup, I believe, up to SummerSlam, where then Cody's going to have to turn out and be a little bit dirty. And what's funny about this whole thing is you saw a little bit of this happening at the end of his AEW run. If you remember when Cody was like, everybody started booing Cody, and then he started getting a little bit dirtier, but he wasn't heel because he didn't want to go heel, but he started fighting a little dirtier. He did a little bit of the underhanded tactics. And I feel like ultimately that's what he's going to have to do to win the title back from John Cena. He's going to have to go to that spot that The Rock wanted him to go to sell his soul to win the belt. That's where I could be totally wrong, but I feel like they gave up. They kind of threw a softball in on this WrestleMania so that it can build up now to when Cody will probably face John Cena at SummerSlam.
But you know what? If that's the case, that's fine. But don't make the fight this boring. Okay,
I'm not sure that it probably thought it was going to be as boring as it came across. I'm sure some of the timing got thrown off because I'm sure they didn't expect Travis Scott to perform a concert on the way to the ring.
The other thing too was like what Adrian is saying. Like, all right, Travis Scott is the only guy you're gonna bring out there, right? You didn't bring The Rock or anything like that. That's fine. But then throw some other nuggets, like do something different. Like instead of Travis Scott going straight into the ring, how about you go to Brandy, since Brandy was ringside along with his daughter, and start insulting her or something. And then maybe you would have pissed off Cody, ran down. Something would have happened. Just something different.
Then I feel like that takes it to that personal level to where, like, Travis Scott has nothing to do with Brandy. Like, look, if Cena wanted to kind of like what Rock did with Mama Rhodes and all that stuff last year, like if Cena did it, maybe. But to me, Travis Scott doing it is
why not? He freaking beat him. He popped his eardrum or something.
Yeah, but I mean that is one thing. When you start
take it to the next level. He wants to be in wrestling, right? So if he wants to be in wrestling, then start acting
do some
like
heel shit. Yeah,
hell yeah.
You're escalating that fight to more than what I feel they wanted it to be.
I mean, the reason we're escalating it more is because it was a bore fest. It was just not good.
That sucks.
No, I agree with that, but I'm starting to think that was on purpose.
So you wanted us.
They gave you the night
shit
one
on WrestleMania for SummerSlam.
The night one was your oh shit.
Yeah,
Heyman turning on Roman and CM Punk. That was your oh shit for this WrestleMania. That was your big thing. And remember, this SummerSlam is 2 nights.
I know, but do that on night 2 then to send the fans home happy, or at least not like, what the fuck did I just watch? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's what it was, bro. Everybody was like, what? That it?
Yeah. And the crazy thing is that a lot of us were saying, how is that, like John Cena and Cody is not gonna live up to the main event of yesterday, and clearly it didn't even come close to it. It was terrible.
Also, I feel like some of this is being done, and again, not that Cena is a great worker to begin with.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But again, his whole thing now is what? I'm giving you guys nothing. You deserve nothing.
Well, we got nothing.
His entrance was all black. There's John Cena in white letters, right? He came out. His introduction was
kick, punch, kick.
Yeah,
punch.
He gave you nothing. He told you. He told you what he was going to do. I'm giving you nothing. You deserve nothing. I'm going to walk out the 17-time champion because I deserve it. You guys deserve nothing. And guess what? We got nothing, and he got his 17-time world champion.
You always make it make sense, Sean.
And I'm telling you now, if I'm John Cena tomorrow on Raw, if he's on Raw,
That
the
makes
first
so
thing
much
that
sense.
comes out of my damn mouth is, ladies and gentlemen, I completed the story. That is the first thing I say, holding up the
He's
title.
on. He's on Pat McAfee show tomorrow.
That is the first thing I say.
If I was him, I would come out and when he's about to say something, he throws the mic because he doesn't care because he does nothing.
Could do
He
that
just
too.
walks out again.
I would be like,
He on Pat.
you know,
He
I
gonna
would
talk.
say, ladies and gentlemen, my story is complete, and then walk away. Done. That's all I got, and leave.
But
How many people gonna watch Pat's show tomorrow? Just because that's way before Monday Night Raw.
I bet
They're
you
gonna have millions and millions of people.
I bet you the Pat McAfee show is going to be more entertaining than today's fight.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
But I ultimately feel like they threw the towel in on this one to add more to the SummerSlam in New York City.
And like I said, that's fine. But I agree 100% with Adrian. If we knew we were going to get this, at least the surrounding stuff that affects the match could have been a lot better. That's all.
Yeah, but
A little bit more
think
But
about this.
what Sean's saying makes sense though. How he's saying we deserve nothing and he gave us nothing. That's pretty much what it was. So
But also
that
think
makes
about
sense.
this.
But
On paper,
people
what
want to
can
be
we say
entertained.
about tonight's card? This card is terrible. Hopefully, Cena Cody saves us. And it was the other way around. If
It was
anything,
way- yeah.
Cena Cody destroyed the card.
It did.
The
Yeah.
card was good. It was
Tom said
Cody
the
and
card-
Cena. It was the other way around. It almost felt like they
Even
amped
yesterday.
everything else up to make sure that you knew that the Cody and them was going to be a bad match in a way. It felt like, okay, we're up here. Now we're going to fall off because the main event we know is not going to deliver what they're expecting. You're not getting The Rock. You're not getting in the run-ins that you got last year. You're not getting all this stuff. There's no way to do it, and our thought process is going totally the other way. So everybody's going to be pissed off at the end of the night. So now we need to make them happy all the other way around.
Now let me ask you this though: if he continues this, is that what we're gonna get in every title offense that he's gonna have a Borefest?
I mean,
Yes.
And to be honest, I think what you're going to end up getting is you're going to
Absolute
start seeing more of the final boss decisions. Not saying The Rock's going to be there.
Oh, he needs to be there
The
now.
referee is going to be paid off so Cena win. There's going to be underhanded tactics where the final boss keeps the title, is what I feel like. It's going to be going back to an older day when Jimmy Hart had a referee, Danny Davis, who ended up becoming a wrestler, but he was a referee. And every time the Hart Foundation was in a match, somehow this guy was the referee. And ultimately, it turned out that he was really a wrestler, but every Hart match he had, because Jimmy Hart had him paid, and the Hart Foundation always won no matter what. And like I feel like that's what we're going to, because again, if you look at Backlash, the next card,
Kareem's
it
right.
is
Everybody laugh at Cruz.
Oh man,
Yeah.
goat comment right there.
Karoon. Good
That
stuff.
ain't about to
Good
get
stuff.
paid.
Yeah, but I just feel like that's what's going to happen there. Josh Vince wouldn't do half of what Paul has done. Look, here's the thing with Vince and VKM, or however the hell you want to call it. This WrestleMania is not the WrestleMania you got if VKM's in charge. You're getting Lesnar, Goldberg. They'll probably bring back Batista. What other muscle 6'6" guy? Joe Hendry's not there. You're probably getting Obafemi.
I would have been okay with Obafemi.
If you have muscles, you're going to be on the card. You wouldn't have had any of the other guys.
I would have liked to have seen Randy Orton versus Obafemi. That would have made me happy.
Dom would not have won in the
Bro,
Intercontinental.
you getting
Yeah,
you
Dom
getting
would not have won the Intercontinental title.
almost. That's what you're getting.
Hey,
Almost
almost
would be in the main
went to
event.
New York and New Japan and looked pretty damn good. And by the way, more of the Dominic Mysterio update face turn. I'm carrying on two legacies: the Mysterios and the Guerreros.
Oh, is he going to hug his dad?
No, come on. He can't be saying the Mysterios. Funny.
He's wearing
That's
a Mysterio hat with the Guerrero shirt,
That's
talking
fire.
at the post show.
Good on
I'm telling
Dom,
you,
man.
it's gonna happen, bro.
What a
it's
moment.
gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Everybody popped for him too.
Yeah, and then okay, so now let's talk Stone Cold. Apparently, he's been drinking. They let him loose
What?
driving the ATV,
What?
and
Don't forget drive.
and apparently a lucky lady in the front row is probably going to get every autograph that she wants. Tickets
Yep.
for a couple years.
Yep.
She'll probably be front row at the next year WrestleMania.
Nick
And
Khan was down there.
yeah. Nick Khan was there as well.
Nick Khan, boy.
I'm watching the video right now, and you can see her.
He said,
She throws herself into the. Nothing
yeah.
happened with the.
It was
Yeah,
it
it was
was
like
fake, but
reaction.
she did what she was supposed to do.
Yeah,
She's like,
anybody
yep, here it is.
When Stone Cold did his first turn,
should have
like,
grabbed the neck, her back. Like I would have been on camera, like, oh God, oh.
like when,
Get the stretcher.
when Stone Cold did his first lap, I was like, man, he's cutting it close on those turns. And then when I saw he did it again, and then boom, I was like, oh man, there it is. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
But
Are they gonna just
Wow.
why you got him on why you got him on the ATV every year, man?
Because he can't. His knee's bad, man. He can't walk down there every time. That's a long ramp.
Look,
This one
if he would have taken longer, maybe we didn't get Travis Scott at the end.
Also, he's racing the side by sides now, isn't he?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He is, yeah.
isn't he?
Actually-
Was he supposed to go
He hit
around?
60-mile-an-hour turns in them things.
Yeah.
But that ATV is smaller than the one he usually uses.
Yeah.
At the wheels
It's
isn't
souped up more too.
smaller
It had
one.
better shocks on that one.
Was he supposed to do 2 turns and 2 laps and then head back up to the front and
He's
then
still
make up the
going.
announcements?
No, he was always coming in to do the announcement in the ring.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because usually what he
And he
does
do
is
his-
he parks at the ramp and then he'll get in the ring and then he'll do it and then he'll drive back up the ramp after the announcement.
You saw he was
Yeah.
struggling. He was trying to go reverse and everything, and he just couldn't. So he's like, "Screw this crap, I'm
He's
out
like,
of here."
all right. Nah, he saw the lady. The lady was acting hurt. That's why he was like, "Oh shit!" and he just got off.
Gotcha.
See, if I was Stone Cold, I'd have been like, "What? What?"
What?
What?
If I would have been the lady, as soon as Stone Cold hit me and he's like checking up on me, I would have stuck the bird at him.
Oh no, I would have grabbed my chest as soon as he hit me. I would have started grabbing my chest, my neck, my back. I would have fell over the railing onto the ATV.
They would have had to bring out a
Oh,
stretcher for you.
Yeah,
You guys are all lying.
Yeah.
Every one of you is lying. I would have given him a hug. You guys are all lying. If Stone Cold hit the ATV in front of me and knocked me down and asked me if I was okay, I'd jump up and give him a hug.
no, see.
They're gonna give her even if she was cool. They're gonna give her so much. It don't matter. They just do not want that lawsuit at all. Because then they're gonna tell Stone Cold, "Hey, you're never doing this again."
Yeah, and apparently Carlito threw something in the crowd and hit somebody too. So WWE's got 2 fans they got to take care of tonight.
Fucking Carlito.
Well, Carlito
an
probably
apple?
be fired though. Carlito probably be fired because they don't need him
but
anyways.
That
They only need
spear,
him to take spears from Braun Breaker.
ooh, that spear was legit.
That's all he's going to be from now on
Yeah.
is the Braun Breaker spear doll.
One thing before we go,
That new table
on
looks
day
like
2,
it hurts.
I was gonna say that. I was like, finally, the tables broke. You know, Drew McIntyre and all these guys, all these people doing these tables moments. Was it Drew McIntyre? I don't know. Somebody,
Roman broke him yesterday.
Roman. That's what it was. Roman broke him yesterday. Yeah. So
Put CM Punk and Seth through him.
Yeah.
But that one side doesn't seem to fall over. You
Oh
notice
man,
that?
no.
Well, it
It's
seems
That's
like
like,
a dirty
solid
table.
metal.
it seems like
Yeah.
it implodes somehow. Like it goes out and then it drops. It's weird.
is there like a TV underneath it too?
They have monitors under
monitors.
sometimes. I don't know if every one of them has monitors.
Because on the Roman one had monitors.
Yeah, because what they'll do is they got the ones on the top that feed the live raw feed from the thing, but underneath is the one from the back. So if they can't hear somebody, they can get cues verbal or not sign language or whatever. If they need, if for some reason the earpieces aren't working, they can get verbal cues or whatever that would be.
Visual.
Visual cues. There, thank you. Sorry, verbal would be talking. Let's see. Crazy how they built that table back up so quick. New TV and everything. I mean, you got to. You can't just like, I mean, it used to
Designed
be
to break.
the Spanish announce table used to be the one everybody went to. I don't know what they got away from it, why they got away from it, but now apparently every table is free game now.
And tonight the tables were reversed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they switched tables. I saw that.
And let's see, he said there was a cracked TV on the Braun fight.
I'm watching that video right now. I don't know. Let me see.
So we got night 1. Let's go jump into night 1. Let's talk about a match that I had El Grande Americano winning, but
That
when they
son of a
switched
bitch.
it to Ray Phoenix, I thought they were gonna switch the whole thing because I was like, to me, if you're gonna have somebody lose, you throw Dragon Lee in that spot. I did not expect Ray Phoenix to take the pin. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I expected Rey Mysterio to get pinned by the head, the same shit he did, and I feel like that's what they did. They're like, this is what we were gonna do. Now instead of Rey Mysterio, it's gonna be Ray Phoenix. It's the same match. That's what I feel like they
Says a
did.
lot. Says a
But,
lot about what they think about Dragon Lee, though.
oh,
And what they
Could
think
have
about Ray
easily
Phoenix.
put him in that spot. Yeah, true, but they could have easily because he already has a story with him. Ray Phoenix don't have nothing to do with that.
yeah, well, he was eliminated at SmackDown. Remember? El
Oh,
Grande
the
Americano eliminated him. That's
oh, that's
not on
right.
Andre
But
the
Yeah,
also,
Giant
you're right.
Memorial.
You're right.
but also,
I
Kevin
forgot
Chad
about
Gable
that.
was in it because he wasn't at WrestleMania.
but Adrian, also think about it. Ray Phoenix, Dragon Lee, like, you know,
Yeah, no, you're definitely right. But I'm saying they already had like an ongoing feud him and with the LWO pretty much.
yeah.
So,
So your
but yeah, I
thought, just
forgot about
jump in.
that.
We'll sprinkle in the thoughts on night one. You just kind of jump in where you, Frankie. We'll start with you. Ray Phoenix and American El Grande Americano. And by the way, follow him. He's now on X at Americano underscore WWE. He's got a new
Grande.
shirt, by the way,
Oh,
too.
really? I gotta follow him
He's got
right
a new
now.
shirt called Numero Uno.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Does it say
Um,
gracias on the back?
No, no, no.
it was a decent fight. It was didn't live up to expectation, obviously, because Rey Mysterio would I think fit the profile, right? That was a storyline, but it is what it is. I mean, it sucked because I really want the Grand Americano to make it big, but no, it is what it is. It was a fight, and I was more shocked that Vikingo actually was out there and went inside the ring and everything. As soon as I saw that, I was like, damn, my boy Vikingo in WWE, bro. Eventually, it's gonna happen. So it's just shock how I see all these luchadors from AEW now all of a sudden in WWE, bro.
Well, no, they weren't AEW. They were AAA. They were everybody
I
else.
know, I
They
know.
didn't get stolen by AEW yet. TK did not sign them yet.
Also, they're letting WWE steal them. Okay, I like it.
No, no, no. WWE doesn't steal talent.
They buy
They
them.
purchased the
They
federation.
purchased.
Think
They
about
just buy
this.
the whole company.
Think about this. The AAA roster has Alberto Del Rio on it and Matt Riddle.
Wow.
And
They're gone, right?
they were talking about Alberto Del Rio. They didn't want to bring Alberto Del Rio before, but now it seems like I guess whatever he did is not so punishable that they're probably gonna bring him back. So it's crazy.
Was he beating women?
I think that's what he was
It's,
doing.
it's intergender match.
No disqualifications.
Yeah. Although they did say something about there was somebody that's under contract with them that did something to Stephanie Vacour. I'm very interested to see how that story plays out. Again, I don't know all the details, but
And and
there's
Becour spoke against Triple A very 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 strongly about
yeah,
how they have no organization and they don't do, they she was all there by herself and nobody could help her with the match and
yeah, because it was interesting because when they saw like there were some people that know the AAA thing saw Vacour in the shot and was like, "This is interesting" because she was part of the whole introduction. Sammy, go ahead. Ray Phoenix, El Grande Americano.
well again it was Frankie Mania Grande Americano. Frankie Mania all over. And that entrance from Grande Americano is the one thing that will probably stuck with me. That they did such a great presentation with El Grande Americano.
That was
Uh,
fire.
Chad Gable is so good. Well, and he's not El Grande Americano, the El Grande Americano is so good. He's so
There
talented.
you go. There we go.
And,
Let's fix the
and
comments here.
yeah,
We
yeah.
only spit
And
facts here on this show.
and again, why would you throw Ray Phoenix out there? That's still something I don't get. They probably they thought they were giving him the bigger platform and it was gonna be good for him because more people watch this WrestleMania than probably every single other show during the year. So probably they thought that was going to do a favor to Ray Phoenix. But again, I thought that was not the best way to do it. But the match overall was on the table was a good match, and I thought either Rey Mysterio or Rey Phoenix will be the Gran Americano, and for him to continue complaining and everything. But I felt very happy when I saw Gran Americano with the match because it was the way they presented it, the way they did it was a great match, and I was happy Gran Americano won at the end.
Adrian.
I thought it was good, man. For what it was. I definitely agree with Frankie. Felt like that match would have been, a really great one with Rey Mysterio. I'm sure they had already had some stuff planned or, worked on it a little bit before, but what are you gonna do? And then, Ray Phoenix is an unbelievable talent. So I think they did what they could and made the right choice. Keep the heel going. Americano for the dub. He did that. So we'll see what happens next now.
No doubt.
So I wonder if Mysterio hadn't gotten hurt, if El Grande Americano would have won. Because I was wondering before WrestleMania, how long was this going to go on for?
Mm-hmm.
And if he won at WrestleMania, I knew it was going to continue. If he lost, I thought it was going to end. And I don't know if there was, they had to, if it was supposed to end or if it's going to continue. It's going to continue now. But that was sort of the thing that I saw. Was like, all right, well, this is going to continue, which is great for me. I love it. And also, I really wish it wasn't Chad Gable. Just somehow, some way, there was a person that just looked exactly like him in physique, and it really, truly was not Chad Gable. I don't think it's possible, but I wish it was true.
Well,
I think
lucky
that would
for
be
you,
the
it's not
best.
Chad Gable. I can
I think it would be the best if it's actually not Chad Gable.
I mean, we all know Chad Gable says thank you, and El Grande Americano says gracias.
Gracias.
I mean, come on. I mean, it's apples and oranges here. I don't know what we're talking about, but
I spent time looking at El Grande Americano's back and Chad Gable's back to figure out. I'm like, is it Chad Gable? Tell me it's not, please.
it's not. I mean, everybody has that tattoo.
I know. I'm just.
I've
I
got
wish it
one
was
right
true,
here. I
that's
even
all.
got the American Nightmare tattoo on my neck too now. I mean, everybody does it if you're a fan of somebody. I mean, apparently El Grande Americano likes Chad Gable. I don't know. He follows him.
You know one thing though, Sean, that you kind of point out was that they could have done it in a way that maybe Chad Gable, when he put the plate in his mask, something would have maybe
Hold on. I need to correct you. El Grande Americano put the plate in his mask.
okay, when Grand Americano put the plate in his mask, maybe Ray Phoenix would have figured it out. I know he kicked it and then he was hurting in his foot. But then maybe Ray Phoenix pulls it out, and then the referee would have looked at Ray Phoenix and be like, "Oh, you're using it. I'm DQing you," instead of him getting actually pinned by El Gran Americano.
Yeah, I mean, I think they just kept the same match they had that was going to be with Ray, which I don't know if it's right or the wrong thing to do, but I think they just kept because my thought process was always going to be El Grande Americano wins it because this is not going away, and especially now when you're signing the thing with AAA, you're doing all this stuff with Lucha Libre and everything, and you had John Bradshaw cut a promo about AAA and everything else. It just makes sense now because JBL is so pro-American, and then now you're gonna have El Grande Americano. I feel like that's going to be the heel guy for this whole When Worlds Collide thing. Like that's going to be El Grande Americano now with JBL. Like I feel like it's all going to come together. And again, it's not like they woke up yesterday and said, "Hey, we're going to purchase AAA." This has been in the works, and I believe it's probably been in the works while they were starting to do this El Grande Americano thing and to be the big heel. And now you start him beating Rey Mysterio and things like that. Now you get to build that up to him being a lucha legend.
Memo in the chat saying that it is Chad Gable. So
No, listen. I'm not going to sit here and argue with you, Memo. All right, that's Frankie Fresco's job, but I can tell you now it is not Chad Gable. All right, let's move on. The next match of the night, the New Day win the tag team titles over the War Raiders. I didn't like the way that match ended. I did not like. I don't care that New Day won. However you want to do it, it just felt like it was like a rushed ending, and then like they run, they grab the belts, and they run off like they stole something in Vegas or whatever else, and it's like I don't get what the whole hoopla was. Frankie Fresco, please explain it to me, break it down, and let me tell you something, Memo. It is not Chad Gable, and that I agree with. Go ahead.
I guess the reason that they felt like they had to run with the titles was because kind of the War Raiders kind of dominated that match throughout the
Mhm.
thing. So maybe they're
Yeah,
like, hey, we just pulled it off at the very end. I agree with you. I thought, the way the match was going, I honestly thought the War Raiders should have won that match, based on how they were dominating them. But it wasn't a great match. I thought it was kind of lackluster, and I wasn't surprised I knew they won. I didn't pick them, but I wasn't surprised.
yeah.
Just another day. We'll see where they go with this, and let's see how long their title run goes with this heel look now for the New Day.
Sammy?
Well, the only thing I remember about that match was when the War Raiders were in the ramp going to the ring. I look at what they were and I said, they look like those guys from the mobile phone game. Oh, there it is. It was a commercial for the mobile
Yeah.
phone. The New Day had so many great matches during the time in the history of the WWE. This was one of them. No one's gonna remember that match a year from now, probably not a month from now. So, but you had the New Day, the most winning the most titles in WWE tag team titles in history, continuing the record. It would expect to be something memorable. But again, no one's gonna remember this match.
All right, Adrian?
Throwaway match. They just pretty much booked that match just to get New Day their, the 12th title win. And it was crap. And yeah, man. I ain't like it too much, but it did what it needed to do, I guess. And they got up out of there. They could start their little heel run with continue their heel run with the titles, and kind of buried the War Raiders there a little bit.
Yeah, I felt like that's what it did. It kind of killed. I mean, like it wasn't even like they did. I mean, I guess you could say they did a cheap win because they double teamed them to win it. But like
Yeah.
to me, it didn't protect the War Raiders as the champions. No doubt, you there? I don't think he is there. All right, if he pops back in, we'll grab him. Jade and Naomi. Your thoughts, Sammy? We'll go with you first.
Well, I expected Jay Carter to win this match, and she did. Again, uh, Naomi carried a lot of weight in that match because Jay Cargill is so impressive. She's so powerful, but she's still very, very, very raw. So I think it was a great job by Naomi carrying that match. But again, I expected Jay Carter to win, and she did.
Go ahead, Frankie.
Sorry that I'm writing on the chat board.
No, no,
Memo wrote, no doubt, has the Walmart Wi-Fi. That was funny. Look, man, to be real honest with you, I thought Jade Cargill did a great job. I was impressed with her. I think that's been her best match in her whole WWE career.
Oh, that's for sure. That's
Yeah.
undeniable. That's for
I was impressed. It wasn't a bore fest. It was really good,
that was our first. Yeah.
and then at the end of the day, she won. And Naomi did a pretty good job too, getting Jay Cargo over. And there was a couple of wardrobe malfunctions, but she had pasties on, so you didn't get to see the little the slip ups. But good for her that she had pasties on. I mean, Memo sent me the like the clip, and I'm like, damn
Of
it.
course, Memo did. Of course, Memo did.
But yeah, that's what I
Zoomed in too.
Yeah, I remember be zooming into it and everything, right? I'll forward it to you guys. That way you can guys see it. What Memo sent me. It was funny.
Everybody was posting that, man,
Yeah.
last night.
Hold on a minute. No doubt saying I see myself on screen. Does anybody else have no doubt?
Nah,
I mean,
negative.
he's flickering in and in
Yeah,
and
he
out.
just
in and out.
flashing back and forth.
Try
Not
refreshing
him.
the screen. No. Try
Why is
doing
it? Why no doubt should
No,
probably
it just dropped. He just dropped.
yeah, and then come back in.
No, he's offline. Yeah.
Yep. All right. So
There
here
he is.
there he is. There he is. He's back. All right, no doubt. Did you want to throw in anything on the New Day real quick?
I like the New Day. I like the New Day. That's all I'll say. I like it.
All right, Naomi, Bianca, or Naomi and Jade. Your thoughts on that one?
I'm also fire.
Naomi and Jade. Oh, okay.
Yeah, Memo, so funny.
I don't know. It was okay. To be honest with you, I don't remember much about Naomi and Jade. I wasn't very interested in it. I don't remember the match very much. I don't know that I paid attention to it. It might have caught me like in between stuff, but trying to think, I don't remember anything like specific as far as I don't even know that I don't remember who won. Jade won, right? Yeah, she put her in the ground. That was about it.
Yeah, I felt they did Naomi a disservice in this match. For all the buildup she got as a heel. And again, I'm not saying that, but Jade beat her clean. That's my whole thing. Like, you're building her up as this heel, and it's like, if Jade caught her with something real quick and did it, but she beat her clean. She hit her with 2 straight power moves, and just, to me, that feud is done. I don't want to see Naomi
That
show up and be
suplex,
like,
when she caught her for that suplex, that was
she
insane.
jackhammer into the
That
power
was
slam.
badass.
She did some badass shit, and again, I understand that. Again, we said there's 2 people that we're not going to lose to me on that card on night 1, which was Jade Cargill and Jacob Fatu.
Oh, I thought you were saying Grande Americano.
Well, but the thing that I is like, I don't want to see on Friday and Naomi come out and be like, "Oh, you got one over on me." No, she put your ass on the ground.
Yeah.
She beat you clean, 1, 2, 3, with like 3 power moves in a row, and jaded your ass. And she sat on you and did her finish pin. Like, there's no respect there. Like, to me, that's it. It's over. You put me through a car, I beat your ass at WrestleMania. We move on. It's over. And to be honest, I think that's what WWE is going to do, because they've done nothing with something that they, to me, wrote itself with Bianca, Jade, and Naomi. They've done nothing with it.
They could not tie those angles up. Everything's a mess on that.
I mean, they could still tie it up. I guess maybe now that Bianca lost and so did Naomi, maybe they could do something where they both talk to each other and be like, "Yo, we got our asses kicked in WrestleMania. Let's team up again, or we got to do something to change our
Yeah,
luck."
but then you go against everything that happened on SmackDown, where Naomi was like, "You haven't called me. You're avoiding me. Why?"
yeah.
And then Jade came out and said, "Why are you avoiding me?" Like, Bianca ain't calling either of them. So, like, it just feels like that's kind of thrown up anywhere. Jacob Fatu, LA Knight, since I just talked about them, to me,
Hell
it
of a
was
match.
exactly what it was going to be. It was a good match. Jacob Fatu gets his flowers. He is the U.S. champion, and kudos to Haku. Way to hop that fence, buddy. Get the hugs. No doubt. We'll go with you first.
I mean, I thought it was pretty obvious that Fatu was going to win. First off, can you guys even hear me?
Yes. Yep.
Yes.
Good now.
All right. No. Listen, this is going in and out. I think I'm just going to jump off because I'm tired of fighting with it and it's not doing well.
Okay. All right, man.
Yeah, sorry.
No, you're good, man. You're good. All right. All right, so we're going to let No Doubt go.
Peace, brother.
Appreciate you jumping on with us. Whoop. I think
There you go.
he is out. Hold on a minute. I'm sorry. I'm just fixing up here. And now we'll do this.
No Doubt gave us like nothing.
There we
Just
go.
like John Cena right before he left. He's like, "I'm out."
So we got, let's go with Frankie. Go. Jade, Jacob Fatu, and
I mean, we all kind of saw Jacob winning. Jacob did his thing. He did his jumps. He did his moves. He did a great job. And just sucks for LA Knight, man. It just feels like they really don't like LA Knight, bro. And I've heard rumors. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but the rumors I've heard is that LA Knight is somebody who likes to go ahead and talk back a lot. So I think that's why he gets that kind of treatment where they push him, but you're not gonna get all the way. You know, you're gonna get what you got from him. That's it. So you'll get your moments, and then here you go. So that's what I've been hearing, that a lot, that he's somebody who doesn't take constructive criticism that well in the WWE world. So I think that's why WWE kind of like treats him that way, and they give him the high and the low at the same time.
Adrian.
Yeah, that sucks, man, because dude he was on a rocket ship for a minute, and the fans still love him, man. So I'm a big fan of LA Knight. So I wanted to see him win. And even if it was, a fluke win, whatever, man. But get a dub at WrestleMania. So, but Jacob Fatu was the right call, man. That dude is an absolute beast, and they put on a show, bro. That moonsault into the BFT, that was awesome. Awesome little spot there. But it was what it needed to be, I guess you could say. And Fatu for the win, new U.S. champions. So two Fatus got them ships yesterday.
Yes, sir. Then we've got Sammy. Go ahead.
I would have liked for they were so talented, they were so athletic. I love they had so many great spots, but I would have loved for them to have a match when you as soon as they started saying that LNI was hurt and his ribs, you know which way the match was going. So for me, that was underwhelming. From that moment on, I knew that the end was going to be that Jacob Fatu was going to win. So I would have done that differently, but they're so good at winning both of them. So the future is right for Jacob Fatu, no doubt about it. LNI will be interesting what they do with them going forward because I don't know what they're going to do with them. So we'll see.
Yeah, and then with the whole thing about you, Frankie, talking about LA Knight and the backstage. I don't know if you saw. Did you see Eminem the celebration they had when Jacob Fatu pinned LA Knight?
No, I didn't see it.
The guys from Ring of Honor, whatever they are, MXM, Mace and Mansoor, whatever they are. They had a victory celebration as they watched the match when the former match
Oh,
three got beat.
the Eminem guys,
That's so much, yeah.
the
Okay.
Yes.
models, Frankie.
Oh, I don't know. I don't like those guys. That's why I don't care
It's
about
on,
them.
it's on X. Like, people are retweeting it. It's like
I
just
hate those
to
guys.
show you.
Ever since Sunday Stunner that we went to and we had to watch their sorry asses model around themselves. That suck. They're terrible.
They were
Yeah, it was
celebrating.
bad.
They go back on the thing, and to me, I thought LA Knight's always going to be a transition champion. He's not. He's going to be the guy that gets the title. He'll probably be a 22-time United States champion, but
The Miz.
that's as far as it's going to go.
He's gonna be the Miz.
No, the Miz has got a heavyweight title, so I mean, you can't really.
They'll give LA Knight one.
No, they won't. No, they
No
won't.
doubt.
He'll never get the heavyweight title in the way. The only way
That's
they will
crazy.
is if everybody else gets injured.
Man, he better get
And
the
and
fuck
and
out of there
and,
then.
and that's also if Triple H can't go. That's about the only way that he'll get it. And maybe
Yes,
Shawn,
sir.
Terrible.
maybe Shawn Michaels too. What was the other one we had? Your favorite, Tiffany Stratton, Charlotte Flair. I will tell you now, it was better.
Botch fest.
It's better than I
It
expected.
was still a botch fest, but
No, it wasn't as bad as.
They
Charlotte
were about
Charlotte
to
looked at sloppy, bro.
No, this is the thing. Like, I feel like that match because see what everybody's saying about she loafed it at the end where she wouldn't even let Tiffany pick her up at the end. I don't know if you saw the part where she does
Hmm.
the thing. But I don't know how much of that is now. They told her to make it appear that way, to where, or if she was doing it, because I will tell you now, the energy at the beginning of the match, I thought Tiffany was loafing it because she was playing to lose.
Yeah.
She was the first one that came, or she was the second one to the ring, and I was like, "Oh, the first one's all like." So it's like, actually, no, she was the first with the Barbie stuff.
She was the first, yeah.
Yeah, but that was before I figured out the whole thing. But it looked like she had no energy coming to the ring.
Yeah. She had that sad face.
Yeah, it looked like, oh God, she just got told she's losing. Go to the ring. Damn it. All right, Adrian, go ahead.
I just thought the timing was off or something was off. Maybe it's what you said, like they really just don't like each other and didn't want to work for each other, but I thought something was off. Still was a pretty good match. Probably one of the better matches on the card. But yeah, man, it didn't do like anything great for me, but thought Tiffy was the right move and definitely thought they were gonna pick Charlotte to win because I mean, but and then Tiffany with the two. Did y'all see that? And then what you said you the one that said it, Sean, right? She had
Yeah,
a
when she went
mat
to
burn on her
she went
forehead.
to do natural selection. I don't know if you saw it. She
Yeah.
went to do the natural selection off the top rope or the middle rope or whatever. She drove her head straight into the mat. That's where the mat burn was from the top, where she drug her face across because she missed her. She hit her with her shoulder, so her shoulder drug her head. That's where
Yeah.
that
And
might have been where the chipped tooth happened too, because she
yeah.
came down on her head.
Was it chip tooth or was it?
I believe there was a chip tooth because there's people in the post conference that said they saw something blue on her teeth, and then the next day it was sealed up. So again, I don't know. I'm no
At the press
dentist.
conference, at the post conference, she already had her teeth.
She
She
did.
showed
Yeah.
them off, and she was like, and she
Yeah.
was okay.
Oh, she was okay. I was told there was
Yeah.
something blue. I was told you could
Yeah,
see
it
something
was. You can
blue.
see the photos and you can see something blue, but at the post game, at the post show, you can see her. She even
She
showed her teeth. Like
she
it
yeah,
was
she
like,
showed it and said I got all my teeth.
Yeah. Oh,
and I was
Yeah.
like,
I don't
she
know.
said,
I don't
yeah,
know because maybe Britt was
Britt
back
Baker was there.
backstage helping out in the
Well,
dentistry.
she was in Las Vegas.
Yeah, she was there. She was there. So Frankie Fresco.
Hey man, I thought that match was really good. I mean, I don't know if maybe the undercards on that fight were so bad, but I also honestly thought that this was the second best fight of the night, right behind the main event. I thought the main event was number one, and then this one was number two. Um, yeah, there was a couple of some miscues here and there, and yes, Tiffany did have low energy, but at the end of the day, you actually kind of saw that this feud it kind of um drained a lot out of her. She was saying it in the post conference that she was emotionally drained out and physically and everything. So I think she's just happy that this is over. And then and what she mentioned on the post also was that she came to realize, I just beat Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania. So it's like at the end of the day, they did her right. She should have never lost to Charlotte Flair, and she didn't. So good for her, and I think now they're okay with moving on from this feud between those two.
Sammy.
Well, I think what everything I said is right on point. Everybody, because what they didn't say is also true. You can see there was some rust on Charlotte Flair. She's been on the ring for a while now, but the spot that worked really well. And there was some botches for sure, but I agree with Frankie. The match as a whole was my second favorite match for the night. So Tiffany Stratton. She said so many times, so many interviews that Charlotte Flair was her idol and Charlotte Flair was the match that you wanted, her dream match. So for her to get a dream match, a win, a championship win at WrestleMania, the future for sure is bright for Tiffany. So it was a much better match than I expected. For me, I agree with Frankie, the second best match of the night.
Yeah, and I'm happy they made the right decision. I'm glad Charlotte didn't win because to me, that was a match to build up your chance to build up Tiffany. Not saying she's gonna be champion for years and years, but that was not the person to beat Tiffany at that moment to me. So I'm just glad they did that. Another title that changed hands: Jay Uso. Yeet Fest 2025 happened in Vegas. Adrian, or actually,
Sam,
Sammy.
Sammy's
We'll start with Sammy. Go ahead, Jay
Sammy's
Uso.
favorite.
I'll tell you what, I was really, really happy to see Jey Uso win that match. That's the truth. I've not been a huge supporter of him, but of course, I did not want Gunther to win that match. I wanted Jey Uso to win that match, and they, of course, everybody's been talking today about the finish of that match, but they've been criticizing so much about Jey Uso can wrestle, and he may find a way to use not every single, but a lot of moves that Gunther uses against him and to get him into submission. So for for so much talk about Jey Uso can wrestle, Jey Uso found a way to not. I'm not saying he's Dragunov, he's not Dragunov, but he found a way to wrestle good enough for the match. At the end, it was weird. It was unexpected, but I said it at the I used the comparisons about Jey Uso and Rocky Balboa in that match, and I said you don't see Rocky losing to Dragon, and you don't see Rocky not avenging the loss to Dragon and Cloverland, and he was the underdog. Jey Uso was the underdog. He was the Rocky in that match, and he found the way to do a knockout on Gunter. So again, I know we criticize Jey Uso a lot, but I was happy for him to get away. It was a great moment from the gear to the entrance, and we talk on Radio Pod about we're gonna tell a lot from the way Jey Uso entered the ring and the yeet and the clothing and everything was in favor of Jey Uso winning that match. So it was an okay match. It wasn't a memorable match. A memorable match. We're not going to be talking about that match in years to come, but I'm very happy Jey Uso got the win.
Frankie Fresco.
I'm sorry, guys. I thought it was not that good of a fight. I thought it was okay. I thought it was a little bit boring in my eyes. And I think a lot of people agree with me because a lot of people hit that dislike button when Jey Uso won
Yeah, but
on social
that's
media.
because they use so they don't matter about the user. So
I knew Jey Uso was gonna win. I mean, I'm just happy it's over, and then Jey Uso can like move on to his next opponent. But I mean, it was kind of cool that he did use some of Gunther's moves on him, and I guess that's as much as I can say about that match. I'm not wasn't too thrilled about it. I was okay. He won. Congrats. His brother came out, celebrated with him and everything. It was pretty cool. Okay, good stuff.
Adrian.
Feel like Frankie Phil. We all knew he was gonna win. It ain't no big surprise. But yeah, you're right, man. The match kind of sucked the life out of the. I mean, I know when he won, he got his pop and everything, but it wasn't. The whole match was. People weren't. It wasn't like I expected it to be for Jay. And then Gunther tapping, in like 2 seconds. Yeah, that killed it for me. I was done with it right then and there. So, congrats, Jay. You deserve it. You won the Royal Rumble. You got your WrestleMania dream. So, but wow, shit, man. That's all I gotta say.
All right, so here we go.
Wait, before you go, can I say something really quickly?
God, I can't even get to origin. Go ahead.
But one thing for Jey Uso, he needs to work on his interviews. He was on
He's always
first
drunk.
He was drunk
he
as fuck
what
after.
not only that, but on he was on First Take, and they were interviewing him in First Take, and man, that interview was rough for him, bro. Like it sounded really bad. Like so, I hope he works on that. I don't know if he was drunk there as well. I highly doubt it because First Take is at like 10 o'clock in the morning. So, and
Or
it,
it's right before he goes to bed.
in Vegas, it would have been like what 7 a.m. But well, there you go. Maybe he was hungover. I don't know, but man, that was a rough interview. And then, so he needs to work on that if he's gonna continue to be a champion.
All right, here's an update on what you can expect on John Cena and Pat McAfee tomorrow. During the press conference, somebody asked him a question. He said, "That's clickbait. I'm not going to answer that." Somebody asked him another question. He said, "I'm just here so I don't get fired or I don't get fined." So there you go. He's pulling the Bill Belichick. That's what's going to happen.
He's giving us nothing, bro.
Nothing, buddy.
Pat gonna get him to
You're
talk,
going to
bro.
like it. No, he's not. He's not. This is going to go all the way to summer. I'm telling you, they forfeited night 2 of WrestleMania so they could build night 1 and 2 of SummerSlam.
If Pat can make Aaron Rodgers talk, he can make John Cena talk.
Sean, if I may,
Right.
they're saying that the when Stone Cold announced the crowd, last night's crowd was 63,226. The combined WrestleMania gate was 124,693. I added up. That means night 2 was 61,467. That means that night 1 had almost 1,800 more fans than night 2. I don't know what.
I think it's the
That's
other way
kind of
around. Night 2 was the announced Stone Cold did. So night
okay.
2
You're
was
right.
the 63. Night 1,
Exactly,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
It
yeah.
was 1,800 more fans
Yeah,
tonight.
because I think there was 61,000 was yesterday. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, yeah. I mean, again, it's the TKO.
John
Both
and Cody.
sellouts. Both sellouts.
Yeah,
So,
they're not worried about. They're just trying to sell. They're worried about the gate revenue, man.
mhm.
Like it's
Yeah, but
crazy
then
when you look at
there were
it.
so many reports in the week that we're not going to be able to sell out
Yeah.
because 12,000 tickets and so yeah, they found a way to sell out everything.
No, because then they lowered it down and they make what the value is. Again, that's how they're gonna. It's like the UFC tickets till the day of. The day of, they lower them down, and then
Yeah.
you can go to the event. For me, I thought I don't care about the Jey Uso winning the title. My question is this: you just beat Gunther with his own damn move.
Mhm.
What the hell's next for him?
That
That's
was
all I
cool.
could think of when that was happening. I was like, I think in any scenario, it's like, okay, Gunther can survive it. I thought the play would have been, a little bit longer down the line and Jay just comes up short again. But
Mhm.
like, what do you do now with Gunther? It's not that he got beat. If he gets beat, he gets beat. but he got choked out. He tapped out to his move. And I get it in a story where he's beaten Jay 3 straight times and he's choked him out and he's done everything else. And that's what he did to his brother, and things like that. I understand the story of it, but like, I just, to me, it knocks Gunther down. Like, you need to keep Gunther off TV for a couple weeks and forget about that loss. To me,
are they gonna turn him face, or I don't know? They find a way to Rusev to be the heel and to confront them. Say this is a shame or whatever.
yeah.
Because you're right. Well, what's next? It has to be a complete turnaround after that. Where do you go from here? You're completely
And
right.
plus, I think Braun is probably the next opponent for Jay, or whatever. I guess Seth could next be the next opponent too, because I thought the winner of the triple threat would go, but I still feel like there's going to be unfinished business with the way everything went down, and we can jump into that match now. With the way everything went down, the triple threat, I don't know that any of them are going to be like in the main event title picture right now because they're going to be battling each other.
Mhm.
And Frankie, we'll go with you starting, or actually Adrian. I think I did Frankie last time. Adrian, go with you. Your thoughts on the main event of night one: CM Punk versus Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns, and of course Paul Heyman was in CM Punk's corner.
Incredible match. Them, hey, 3 top performers, top guys. They did, what main event WrestleMania main event should have been. That's what hey, Cody, John, learn something from it. But them boys killed it, man. They killed it out there. Timing, execution, everything, emotion, everything was on point. And then the twist at the end, I already told you, man. I knew Seth had a plan. He been talking for these last month and a half. He been talking like he just had a plan. So he pulled it out his ass. And Paul, let's see where this goes though. Seth and Paul Heyman. I'm interested to see where this goes. So, but yeah, I thought it was great. I thought it was 5-star match.
Sammy,
From the entrances to the match to the ending, it was a complete match. The best match on the card by far, any night, and probably save WrestleMania if you ask me, because this WrestleMania is not gonna be one of the WrestleManias that you're gonna be thinking about in years to come. But that match you probably will. So uh, again, you guys, as soon as the match kept moving, you can see there was not something. Well, something weird. Adrian was right on the spot on that. When Paul Heyman had the share, I thought he was going to throw it right in the middle to Seth Rollins. Like, that was going to be the turn, but it didn't happen there. And when he's in the ring, you can see Paul Heyman looking at the crush of Roman Reigns and looking how he's going to adjust and put his knee on the ground. There were a lot of thoughts during the match, but overall, this match is going to be remembered for a long, long time, and probably one of the best matches in WrestleMania history.
Frankie Fresco.
Like, hey man, Sammy and Adrian call it as it is. Amazing, amazing fight. Delivered. Definitely the fight of WrestleMania day one and day two. Um, it was like what Sammy said, great from the beginning, even from their entrances all
Oh,
the way to the end. And here's the thing about the I don't know what Sean is reacting to. I think he's trying to steal my mojo. What's going on, Sean? Talk to
A
us. What's going
comment.
on?
apparently another fan got hit outside of WrestleMania. They're driving Dom Mysterio up on the golf cart. Fans just start trying to get around it, and the golf cart just trucks somebody.
Oh wow.
And just, I mean, what are we? Why can't I be there to get? I can get tickets to the next one. Go ahead. I'm sorry. It just happened. It came up on my timeline. First picture I saw. I apologize.
Man, you're making people want to go right now on social media and check it
I'm
out.
I'm going to the next WWE show just to get hit.
I mean, it looks like
I'm just seeing it right now.
Oh God damn! They just piled that guy like, and I don't know why the guy thought he was going to be able to jump in front of the damn freaking like it's one of those like
Oh,
watch the guy in the red at the end.
Did
yeah,
you hear it?
on the right side. Wrestle ups. You can see it. You can watch that
Yeah,
wrestle up in
wrestle
here.
ops if you got it.
Russell Op, sorry, I'll take a look at it while you guys are laughing and
Sorry, go ahead with your.
Yeah, they really.
Is that the same lady as the first row? Because she's similar. I'm
Great.
sorry, Frankie.
No, you're good. You're good. Okay, hold on. I'm seeing it now myself. Hold on a second.
It's
That is
just,
true
wait,
what
it
you
just
guys are
kept going.
saying.
People making some money this weekend.
Oh man, you're right. It does look like the lady that did that. So for you guys, hold on. We're not gonna get copyrighted if I show it. Here you go. Let's see.
Nah, it's Twitter, bro.
Yeah, watch the red. You're gonna see a lady or a guy or somebody in red come on the bottom. Bam!
Whoa! We need to go to a WWE show. Main event, great fight, great main event. You know, there were some resemblances. I think they said that this guy Seth Rollins did the same thing that The Rock has done with the flamethrower and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
it's maybe you'll see now Seth Rollins and kind of what me and Sean had spoken on our podcast that there's a way maybe they correlate everything together, right? You'll all of a sudden you'll see Paul Heyman maybe be with John Cena and with all these guys, and then instead of having The Rock kind of like guide all of them, it's gonna be Paul Heyman since The Rock can't be at every show or something like that. I think there could be some type of correlation. That would be pretty interesting. As far as CM Punk, I was disappointed. You guys know I'm a big CM Punk fan, but he got his moment. You know, he got the main entrance. That was amazing for him, and yeah, he lost and all that stuff. But you know, when you're headlining the main event, you don't necessarily have to win. You have to just make sure that you deliver a show. And I think all
Yep.
three of those guys did that. And then when it came to Paul Heyman throwing in the chair and making those moves, I mean, hey man, I understand him 100%. If you start looking back at everything that Seth Rollins said about CM Punk and about Roman Reigns, it was the truth. This whole time,
Yep.
he was everything he said. Like if you listen to him on SmackDown and all that stuff, everything he was saying made perfect sense. So it just made sense for Paul Heyman to say, "Hey, screw you, CM Punk, screw you, Roman Reigns, and I'm gonna go now with Seth Rollins." So it was a perfect story, a perfect moment, and now I'm very intrigued to see how Paul Heyman and Seth Rollins work together. And anytime Paul Heyman is in your corner, man, you're a winner. So I'm pretty sure Seth Rollins is going to be getting a title very soon.
Oh yeah.
Here is the interesting thing, man. That I loved about this main event. All of them say they hate each other. All of them say they have no respect for each other. But all of them worked for each other in that match. Everybody was there for everything, including Paul Heyman, including the announced teams to point out little things. And also, it was the details behind everything, right? He hands CM Punk the chair. He helps him up. He's walking him, and then he nutshots him. And then what does Paul Heyman say? You made me decide. You made me choose. You made me choose. And at that time,
Mhm.
Roman's like, oh, now he's my guy. So then Heyman gets a chair, presents it just like he's done the Ula Fala before to Roman Reigns, gives him the chair. He goes there. Again, the little details, right? Paul Heyman's on the right side. What does Roman do? He actually pushes him over to where Heyman needs to be because Heyman's on the side that he would swing the chair, but it also puts Heyman in position to deliver the nut shot without Heyman having to look silly and go, okay, let me walk over here because I'm going to give him a nut shot. It still threw in, whether you thought it was coming or not, it threw in a little bit of like, oh, okay, he's moving Heyman over to get out of the way. But the little detail was that he was actually putting him in position so that he
Same
could
place.
deliver the nut shot. You know what I'm saying? And then, boom, then he hits Roman. And then the subtle things of Seth. Seth just stands there with his back to everything.
And his
Everything's
hand out
happening with him
when
to
he
his
brought
back.
up the chair.
Of course, I'm guessing he could see on the screen in front of him. And then he just puts his hand out, and there's Heyman giving him the chair. And then what does Heyman do after all that done? My work's done. He goes and sits in the corner with his feet out, just like, okay, now Seth's going to finish all of this. And again, the other selfless act of this show was, to me, was Roman took the pin. Because I think it also adds to the story of Seth and Roman, but at the same time, too, CM Punk gets his main event and he doesn't take the pin. And what happens after that? Seth leaves, Roman leaves, and they leave CM Punk in there to get the accolades at the end of the show. little things, man. And again, you can sit there and they say, "Oh, we have no respect." And again, most of it probably will work anyways. Whatever you want to do there. But the fact when you see all the selfless things that happened in that match to make it what it
Yes.
was fantastic, man. And that was the interesting thing for me. And I just saw something, and I think I just so here's one thing I want to say too. And this is an interesting thing, and I forgot all about this. And it goes back to tonight's main event. Okay, remember what did John Cena say he was going to do for wrestling fans? Remember, first promo, he turned
You
heel.
ruin wrestling.
I'm going to ruin wrestling for everyone. What did he do tonight?
Yeah, you ain't lying.
Ruined the main event for us.
Bro, the way you explain shit,
He
you
just,
just make it
no,
more
but
sense.
it's like, again, that's what, if you watch some of the stuff like right now with Cody, like it's very interesting. I want to see if they end up where Cody ends up flipping a switch and going back. But I've kept you guys long enough. Frankie, let them know where they can get you, man. I'm sorry. It's going on 1:00 in the morning.
Frankie Fresco under Fresco Music as well on X, on Instagram, on Facebook, also on TikTok. If you want to find me, just like I said, look for the FREZKO. Not too many people spell it that way, so that's the best way you're gonna find me. And tune in every Tuesday when we do the Squared Circle Digest.
Adrian, let them know where they can find you in the Rainy Day Pod.
Rainy Day Pod, man, on YouTube and all socials, man. That's it.
Sammy, let
Spelled
them know
like
about.
this.
Oh, you got it? You done? Adrian, I'm sorry to
Yeah.
cut you off, man.
No, we good.
Good. All right. Sammy, let them know about Fins TV and everything you got going on coming up.
Feast TV on all platforms, and we're having the Feast TV War Room this Tuesday. So after you're done with watching Square Freckle Dice, hop on to Feast TV to watch the draft this coming week with the Dolphins.
There you go. You can catch me at Stanley Media _11 on X, Stanley Media House on all other social media platforms, and Stanley Media House Network on Facebook, the page, and then also on YouTube. The last thing I want to discuss, just to say, June 7th, the Intuit Dome has Money in the Bank at 7 p.m. At 3 p.m., they are running When Worlds Collide with WWE, NXT, and AAA. And also TKO on the same day has UFC in New Jersey. So that June 7th is going to be a packed day for TKO. And I want to thank everybody that has been. Any last comments from you guys real quick before I thank the chat and everything?
We could talk about it on Tuesday. It's funny. I've been thinking about this. You know, when Vince McMahon and Hulk Hogan took over the whole going into territories and kind of like taking over all these wrestlers and taking over the whole, you know, the whole ring, the whole wrestling over making WWE at that time what WWF the main thing. I feel like WWE now is doing something very similar in the sense of, hey, we're buying out the competition, and they're literally taking one and another these different companies. They bought AAA. The rumors are they might have gone ahead and purchased AAA, and now they're saying that they might have purchased TNA. And if they keep
New
going
Japan.
this route, it's crazy. I'm finding like similarities, you know, like, hey, you know, back in the day they took over, and now this is the way they're taking over that in today's world.
Yeah.
So
All right, and we'll
Also
talk.
New Japan, Frankie. New Japan
Yeah,
is
New
safe.
Japan as well. New Japan's been thrown around as well. All right, so I want to thank you guys. Karun Memo, no doubt, was in on the chat as well. Frankie was in on the chat. What else we got here? Josh was in. Appreciate you. My dad was in. Who else we got? Cass was in. Eddie Chaput was in. And the comment that got me was Cody losing is like the Dolphins cutting Tua. So that's why he was worried about Sammy. And that's about everybody I think that was in on the chat. So appreciate everybody that tuned in with us here. WrestleMania Square Circle Digest, Tuesday, 7 p.m. And then Talking Racing Now comes your way as soon as the races are over, which will be Talladega this Sunday on the Stanley Media House Network. Until then, appreciate each and every one of you for being on with us. And we'll talk to you later. In the words of the great Gordon Soley, so long from the sun, shine state.